good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on your time and your location. This is one of your own Biafra TV. I am saluting and greeting you from this junction, from my own location, sorry. So please, as I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome one another. Ezewife, thank you so much for yesterday. And thank you so much for being on my page. You are amazing and awesome brother in this movement. May Elohim continue to bless you for all you do. May anywhere you put your hands, bring 10 times food, all you are giving to every platform in this last finishing line of Biafra to become a country. You know what he say. Yes, I'm live. I'm just coming right now. I'm live. Thank you so much. And today you are the first person. Wow. Thank you. May your pocket never run dry. You shall live for all of us. And your wife Biafra. He said. Thank you. My fellow Biafrans, I welcome you one of this afternoon. This evening depends on your time and your location. As you join me, the only first thing you can do is to hit the like button. If it is your first time joining us, the like, where you can see the like, there is a 3 dots in front of you. Please endeavor to click on that 3 dots. It will open. You will see like and share. Our program today, the like goes to Nigeria government, which we are sending another physical message to the world about Nigeria and the accusation or what is happening in Nigeria about VS chemical weapon that is more dangerous than armor tanker. That is more dangerous than anything you can think of. This thing is like he kill human being in dozen. Anywhere you spray it around where over 10 people are living, those 10 people, give them 1 minute, they will die silently. They will die in pains. They will die in a way that you will not expect. One, the pains, the stress, the muzzle that he's going to muzzle all your strength down and siphon you and kill you silently, which is the most important part of faith that we must listen. This particular chemical that a former governor in Nigeria is pointing that Nigeria has ordered from, that Nigeria has got this particular weapon, chemical weapon. Check something that after the world introduced it, they placed ban on it and said that no country should use it. Before you see that particular man, I don't mention his name, which all of us know very well, could be able to mention about this particular chemical weapon. I want you to know that Nigeria is full of lies, but I want to know that it might be true. And it must be true. If we checkmate who that word is coming out from, That's why I'm saying that it is true. That's why we are calling the world, because Nigeria is that country that they can do anything humanly possible to keep Nigeria as a one. Nigeria is ready to wipe Biafrans away. Because of what? Because they want to be owner of Nigeria. They never want us to live with them, and either we don't want to live with them. If Nigeria can write a book and remove the entire history of Biafran people, now they have this particular chemical in their hand. They can wipe us, because removing our history inside a history book of Nigeria that they are going to, their children, our children are reading in the school, is also a way to deny that we are not in existence. So if they can go that too far, they can also, it's easy for them to buy this particular chemical weapon. That is why we are calling on the entire world, on the UN, AU, EU, Commonwealth, US, Israel, Canada, Russia, to investigate Nigeria. Do not take it with the propaganda. It's all about politics of Nasri, RUFAl from Lagos, from North, that is bringing this out. You know that when the government is no longer doing their building or what they want, once they're not, they want to, things they did in the secret, they want to open it out. And I know that now that EFCs has arrested him, or he brought himself there and he's been detained, he want to do the exposition of all that the government's atrocities or things, some things that Nigeria acquired, that Nigeria is supposed to acquire for him to get to the neck of Nigeria, or for him to use that to threaten Nigeria as one of the secrets, one of the top secrets Nigeria has, so that they should allow him to live his life, because he knows the worth and the sanction that the world will place on a chemical weapon. As I'm talking to you right now, Nigeria government is in Oso, in Biafra territory, bombarding our people, killing the innocent humans, killing animals in that area. Do you know whether if they have for over 3 days, they have been trooping in, if they have put this chemical already and were trying to shoot gun on air to press gun kills those they come to kill? Nigeria can do undo. Nigeria can do what? Undo. Nigeria is not trustable. Nigeria is that country that you can never trust in this world. The international community, the Biafran people are calling on you to check out what is going in Imo State precisely in Oso right now. We are calling on the entire community to look out what we are saying, how important it is at this stage for you to know that Nigeria has come to wipe us away, in the sense of that is why they remove us from the history book of Nigeria. That man is just making accusation. Rather, he is sending a pure message to the world to understand that the lives of the indigenous people are in danger. When you capture a criminal, he must mention his fellow criminal. When you captured a killer or a kidnapper, he will also mention his followers and his members. This former governor from the Katsina state or whatever he is are the ones that are working with Nigeria close to keep it one. Now that they have, Nigeria has decided to betray him, so he's trying to leak out all the secrets out, and Nigeria want to arrest him to silence him. Nigeria want to arrest him to silence him for him not to say the truth. Despite this weapon, chemical weapon, Nigeria government has finally ordered it and got it there in their storeroom right now. They have sent their militaries, their Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram, in all this region, moreover, in the Biafra territory, in also, they are bombarding with helicopter, with everything, with armor tanker, with troops on ground. We don't know what they are doing there. They are there to kill our people. They are there to buy our people. That is why we are sending message for the world to look out at what is going on in us right now. That every Biafran must be watchful. That also is a danger zone as I'm talking to you right now. Nigeria bought in this one of the most powerful chemical weapon in the world. And what happened? They tried to do propaganda of bombarding from air. Maybe they have circulated this thing in our area without us knowing. And they want to run their propaganda out. We are calling on the UN, EU, AU, Commonwealth, US, Canada, Israel, Russia to be on alert about Nigeria wiping people of the old Eastern region, who is the area, the territory or the country of United States of Biafra was declared November 2024. Okay, Mazi Ezenwife, I don't know your WhatsApp number. You can. It's not yet done because that is why we are not. I never use it. The laptop is this last one of 2025, which is very, very on a high level that they are selling it. It's not yet complete. I have my group WhatsApp, which my number on that group WhatsApp is +97 33 60 51 337. That is the number I use on my WhatsApp group where I post this program and all the secret documents and all my research. So if you say hi there, then we'll add you from there. I can tell you, because of the enemies around us, they say that we are beggars. So that is why we do it in a way that any Biafra who have interest of helping us to get the gadgets, that we give you a message direct, and anything you want to support us, you can. Honestly, I don't know how to thank you or how to pray for you, but Shugo Kariwan sees our hearts. Noga Dreganama, Nagi Biafra. We're trying and keep Bazwa, and you will want Biafra when I land. Thank you so much. The WhatsApp number is +97 33 60 51 337. That is the number. Only on WhatsApp. And there we add our brothers and sisters, those that want to be getting message from us. So, back on the track, this weapon, we are going to find out VS chemical weapon, how powerful this weapon it is, because every Biafra, all hands must be on deck to carry out this for the world to investigate, because there is a serious law that prohibits Nigeria. Nigeria also signed a law that they should never but order it and use it. It's true. That is why we are here to prove it out to the Biafrans, for them to know that Nigeria has come to wipe us away. Thank you. Thank you, Kennedy. Biafran people, we must understand that Nigeria is not a country, it's a mistake country. And anything that's called mistake, do you mean by mistake? That mistake will continue happening. They have come to wipe us away. Right now in Osu is bleeding. They are bombarding Osu with helicopter, armor tanker, men on ground, troop on ground, and everything. They are buying our people right now in Osu State. If you are from Imo State, call your people. Check out what is happening in Osu today being Wednesday, 18th of February. Check out, so as I'm talking to you here right now, the bombardment is going on. The heavily armed fight is going on there. Nigeria also are calling back up to come. What is the offense for our people? That we are the Biafran people. That would decide to exit Nigeria. That is not our own country. The one thing that we want the world to know, that keeping Nigeria as a country is to kill every indigenous people. Keeping Nigeria as a country is to kill every Christian. Keeping Nigeria as a country is for the ongoing genocide to continue without ending. But ending Nigeria is to end ongoing genocide. Ending Nigeria is to end the Christians running away from their homes. Ending Nigeria will end insecurity in the whole world. But leaving Nigeria, any half of Nigeria, is putting the world under pressure and other threats. That is one thing that the world must know. Please like and share the program. So we are going to go into the program fully. So let us hear how powerful this chemical that Nigeria government has brought is using right now. We are going to see how powerful this chemical is. So you will know why that this chemical was not meant to use. Why the world put sanction and Nigeria signed that they should never lay hand on it. Do not think that the person is talking about is just making mouth. No. You know Nigeria, that Nigeria can do undo to wipe away the indigenous people, for them to continue to maintain the ability of calling one Nigeria. But that isn't called one Nigeria. It's a mistake by a white man. And we, the indigenous, have said that we are not going to accept this particular mistake of a white man, because none of the indigenous was consulted when this amalgamation of this name called Nigeria is about to happen. They never call any indigenous people. They never consulted our forefathers. And the most painful part of it is that those that are the forefathers of Nigeria advise that they should divide Nigeria, that if people they feel that Nigeria, that Somalia is going to be better than Nigeria today, it's not happening. That is why we are here to let you understand the most important things on this journey we are into. That there's some things that are happening. They are not just happening. That is why we must be very mindful of what we are doing and how we are moving in this movement. Like we normally do here, listen to the audio voice of the meaning and the powerful of this particular VS agent chemical weapon.
The short answer is terrifyingly powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they aren't designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. They are designed specifically to incapacitate, injure, or kill people through physiological interference. Their power isn't measured in megatons like a nuclear bomb, but rather in toxicity, persistence, and psychological impact. 1. High lethality in low doses. Modern chemical agents, specifically nerve agents, are among the most toxic substances ever created. VX nerve agent. A single drop on the skin, about 10 milligrams, can kill an adult in minutes. It works by blocking the enzyme that tells your muscles to relax, leading to constant contraction and eventual respiratory failure. Novichok's, These are even more potent, designed to be harder to detect, and more lethal than VX. 2. The silent reach. Unlike a bullet or a shell, chemical weapons can follow the terrain and penetrate hardened targets. Contamination. Persistent agents, like mustard gas or VX, can linger on surfaces, clothing, and soil for days or weeks, making an entire area uninhabitable. Penetration. Gases can seep into bunkers, trenches, and buildings that would otherwise protect soldiers from traditional shrapnel. 3. Categories of power. To understand their effects, it helps to see how they attack the body. Category. Examples. Primary effect. Nerve agents. Sarin, VX, Novichok, shuts down the nervous system, causes asphyxiation. Blister agents. Mustard gas, causes severe chemical burns on skin and in lungs. Choking agents. Chlorine, phosgene, floods the lungs with fluid, dry land drowning. Blood agents. Hydrogen cyanide, prevents cells from using oxygen. 4. The weapon of terror. The power of chemical weapons is often more psychological than physical. Panic. Because they are often invisible or odorless, they create a deep sense of dread. Resource strain. Treating chemical casualties is incredibly difficult. It requires specialized suits, decontamination showers, and specific antidotes, like atropine, which can quickly overwhelm the medical system. A note on international law. Because of their indiscriminate nature, meaning they can't distinguish between a soldier and a child, chemical weapons are strictly banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which almost every country in the world has signed. Would you like me to explain the history of how these were first developed, or perhaps go into the science of how a specific agent like sarin affects the body?
I hope you're listening. We have 2-session program today. We finish this one. After going around it totally, then we also touch light on this issue that our people are taking, that are undermining, of Fulani pastors, because Christianity will destroy our people. That is what they want to destroy us. Today, Fulani pastors are there. We are talking about chemical oil, that the information that is out there is proving through one of them that they want to silence. He already voiced out before they take him in that Nigeria has that weapon in their desk right now. That is why we do the analysis. We want the international community to check Nigeria, because this chemical, there is nothing to use to treat this chemical if affected a human being. The only thing is to kill under 1 minute. Something as quickly as killing under 1 minute, if it touches 10 people, under 1 minute, these 10 people is gone. He can wipe away entire community. This, they told, this particular chemical is stronger than any kind of military arm. It's very dangerous. It's very deadly. They put sanction on it, and Nigeria also signed. So now the information is coming. The world power to check Nigeria. I don't know why when it's come to the Biafran people and the issue of Nigeria, the world powers, your law are not implementing holistically. Just do it anyhow and remove your face. Or you that are keeping silent, do you want us to wipe away in the surface of this world? If I may ask. That is why we're giving this notice to the world to understand what we are passing through and why the world must do something immediately about this, to check out. They have got this weapon. After this message, this script of this weapon, this chemical weapon is out, Nigeria has sent military to Biafra land, to the United States of Biafra in also. We don't know whether if since over 3 days there was there, they have split this particular chemical inside our butches, and both animal and human being will die. So using her courage today to bomb this area, what does it mean? Maybe we should check out very well. We should look at our people in also to know if people are alive there, if anything that is going on there, because this is a bombardment. There must be a reason. Maybe you know that when Nigeria want to test anything bad, they come to Southeast. They come to University of Biafra land to test it. If they want to take check this chemical, and you who sees a Fulani man, you buy kai, you buy anything that he's carrying, be careful, because you might drink what will take off your life in the next 1 minute. You that are buying anything from their hands must be very careful. We have captured the Benita and selling some fake and some weapons in the name of kai or drink. We must be careful at this stage that we are into. Please, as you join me, like and share the program. If this is your first time, there is a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dot. It will open with like and share, please. It is very important. Listen to this again.
The short answer is terrifyingly powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they aren't designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. They are designed specifically to incapacitate, injure, or kill people through physiological interference. Their power isn't measured in megatons like a nuclear bomb, but rather in toxicity, persistence, and psychological impact. 1. High lethality in low doses. Modern chemical agents, specifically nerve agents, are among the most toxic substances ever created. VX nerve agent. A single drop on the skin, about 10 milligrams, can kill an adult in minutes. It works by blocking the enzyme that tells your muscles to relax, leading to constant contraction and eventual respiratory failure. Novichoks. These are even more potent, designed to be harder to detect and more lethal than VX. 2. The silent reach. Unlike a bullet or a shell, chemical weapons can follow the terrain and penetrate hardened targets. Contamination. Persistent agents, like mustard gas or VX, can linger on surfaces, clothing, and soil for days or weeks, making an entire area uninhabitable. Penetration. Gases can seep into bunkers, trenches, and buildings that would otherwise protect soldiers from traditional shrapnel. 3. Categories of power. To understand their effects, it helps to see how they attack the body. Category. Examples. Primary effect. Nerve agents. Sarin, VX, Novichok. Shuts down the nervous system, causes asphyxiation. Blister agents. Mustard gas. Causes severe chemical burns on skin and in lungs. Choking agents. Chlorine, phosgene. Floods the lungs with fluid. Dry land drowning. Blood agents. Hydrogen cyanide. Prevents cells from using oxygen. 4. The weapon of terror. The power of chemical weapons is often more psychological than physical. Panic. Because they are often invisible or odorless, they create a deep sense of dread. Resource strain. Treating chemical casualties is incredibly difficult. It requires specialized suits, decontamination showers, and specific antidotes, like atropine, which can quickly overwhelm a medical system. A note on international law. Because of their indiscriminate nature, meaning they can't distinguish between a soldier and a child, chemical weapons are strictly banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which almost every country in the world has signed. Would you like me to explain the history of how these were first developed, or perhaps go into the science of how a specific agent like sarin affects the body?
I hope we are listening to this. Now we are going to be playing it. We pause, then before we do more. Yes, Ezenwa Ife, Chai. Ezenwa Ife, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got dragging number, my brother. Ihe ọbụla itinye aka ebe ọbụla ị na ọ ga na-aga n'iru. Ihe dị mma because nwa ife adịghị etinye aka n'ihe ọjọọ. Ihe ọma ọbụla itinyere aka ọbụna o business kina ebe ọbụla ndị mmadụ na business akwụkwọ ụgwọ enweta ihe a na-achọ ị ga-enweta. Ọ bụ na ọrụ ka ị na-arụ, ọ bụ na a na-akwụ ndị ọzọ ụgwọ, a ga-akwụ gị nke karịa ka esi akwụ ndị ọzọ. Ọmaka mere gị nwanne m, thank you so much. Thank you. We move. I understand. Thank you so much. Dear friends, please greet Ezenwa Ife. Greet our people for doing good to supporting this movement that we are into in a big way. God's deeds. Also, thank you so much for all you do. Thank you. Thank you. God did it. Yes, thank you so much. God is doing it for us. God did that. I also refer the prayer to you that anything. Okay, this is Ezenwife. Okay, yes, Ezenwife. Yes, God is doing it for us. Thank you so much, Ezenwife. Chai. Well, this is too much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, my fellow dear friends, this chemical, now we are going to be playing it and post it to analyze our people. The people on the ground must be very security conscious minded. This chemical will kill not only when it enters the mouth, even touches on your skin. If this chemical touches on your skin, o mesage na arụ, ọ ga-egbukwe mmadụ. Ọ na-egbukwe mmadụ ngwa ngwa. 1 minute. Check kwa chemical na agwa gị sị gị na ọ kpara ike karịa nuclear weapon. Na chemical a VS na ọ kpara ike karịa gịnị? Karịa bomb. No, under 1 minute. So na ọ mesara gị na arụ. Check kwa ihe ọbụla ifuru Fulani man bụ. Ọ na-ere, ọ na-akụnye na bọtụ nye gị na-egoro ka ị ṅụọ ma ejiri akụ ọgwụ ma ọ n'ụdị ọbụla. Oge erukwa na mgbe ma ọ bụrụ na ị bụ nwa Biafra na Biafra land, enwekwa ihe ọbụla ifuru Fulani bụ na-eri eri, zerekwa iri ya maka ndụ gị. Enwekwa ihe ọbụla ifuru a na-eri eri, ọ were ebere Fulani man bịa, ha nwekwara ike iji ya mee isi ọgwụ igoro ka ị ṅụọ. Ha nwekwara ike iji ya mee isie suya igoro ka irie. Ha nwekwara ike iji ya mee isie anything avoid, because people can do undo because of the agenda to Islamize Nigeria, to Islamize all of us. These people can do undo. Be careful. Be mindful of from things you eat from those that are not, you are non-follow Biafrans. Run away from that. They can use it to manufacture anything. They can use it to, they can put it inside anything to sell to you. And you know that the worst part of it is that them that they are selling it, they are not eating it. How na-erekwa ya dị okwu eri ya, because na mgbe nnọkwa n'ọgwụ nke bụ ya pụta je enwudi ya ọkụnye ya mmadụ akpọ ya, ọ na-ekwu na ọkaịkaị egrozie nye ya si ya ṅụọ, ọkwa ekwe aṅụ, akpọji ya na polisi, o ruo kwa 1 hour hapụkwa ya ọlawa. Mgbe ha na ihe abụkwa acid ka o tinyetụrụ obere mmanya ọkụ n'iwe ebiri na-eresi ụmụ Biafra. All this is a method of Islamization. How to wipe people away. Now that this chemical, believe you me, that information that Nigeria has ordered or have in their decks, right, and they have what? They have VS chemical weapon. It is true. It cannot be a lie. Because ha na onye nke gwara ha okwu a, ha ba ike ụmụaka. So the man tries to defend himself and try to indict Nigeria and all the government of Nigeria. Moreover, RUFAl. RUFAl, the man has ordered this chemical to use it to wipe the indigenous people of Biafra away. Do not eat anything from their hand. Do not buy something, anything that can enter into your, or even cream. Do not. Even all this, their perfume that they are selling, run away from that. The time has come to end it up on these people. Because they never meant well for us. They only want to wipe us away. And you are buying something from their hand. Do you know what is inside something that you want to buy? Do you know? That is why I am calling on all the Biafrans to understand that this stage that we are into is no longer a time to buy anything from their hands because of the safety of our life. Be very mindful, be very watchful, be on alert, secure your life. Do not eat something that you don't know the source of it. Stop eating suya. Moreover, ndị nke na-ebu na wheelbarrow na-akwa n'abalị na-akpagharị. They can use it to do anything. Once it enters inside your stomach, you are a goner. The time we are into is very dangerous. The time is very, very dangerous. Be careful of your life. Be careful of things you bought. Be careful of things you eat from all these people. Now, we move.
The short answer is terrifyingly powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they aren't designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure.
I hope you had it. The short answer is yes. Terrifying, powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they are designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. Something that you will put on the ground of any level of building stories. Any level of no matter whether it is 5, 10, 20, once you put it on the ground, it will fall the house. It will weaken the ground. It will let the house to fall. If you put it on the wall and leave within a period of time, the wall will fall. For you to know how powerful this chemical is, check off the chemical that after you have plastered a house, putting all the pillars, putting all the chains and chain the house, after that, this particular chemical weapon can break rods and fall the house. The pillars can collapse. The building can collapse. You had it here that it is a unique because they are designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. You know the level of building, the kind of level of rod, it will fall it down in a twinkle of eyes. That is why we must be careful. Sometimes Chukwu will use our enemy to give us a direct message to save our life. Sometimes a madman will give you a message that we will not even believe. Because of their fighting, because of you know that what they promised them is not what they are longer doing for them, now they are fighting back and they have arrested him. So it's also his arrest. What triggers everything is the series what he said is also. And you know, he's questioning Rebado. Why do you import this? Where and where do you want to use it? That is what is in his letter, his head of letter line. That why do you must explain to the world why do you bought this chemical, and where do you want to use it? That is why I'm hitting. They always want to use such a thing to test it will be in Biafra land. Be careful of things you eat because of your own personal life. This is a straight warning. This is a straight message to every Biafrans. This is a message to every Biafrans from the south, from United States of Biafra. All the entire United States of Biafra. That's where the area I concentrate on. I don't care about any other group or any other state or whatever in Nigeria. Please be careful. Look at how powerful this particular chemical weapon is. Then you may understand why we must be careful. They are designed specially to intercept injuries or kill people through physical interference. Through both on the skin. If this chemical touches you in your skin, you are gone. It will kill. Let's continue.
Designed specifically to incapacitate, injure, or kill people through physiological interference. Their power isn't measured in megatons like a nuclear bomb, but rather in toxicity, persistence, and
I hope you hear it. Like a nuclear bomb. Shade is something that how powerful it is being comparing with a nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb. And even that it has power more than that. More than a nuclear bomb. That is why Biafrans will be very careful this time around. Because Rebado is a Fulani man. The Rebado is from jihadis. These are people that want to Islamize the people of Biafra. Are you paying attention? Because the message has come. The message has come. Do not play with this message. Take it very serious.
Ecological impact. 1. High lethality in low doses. Modern chemical agents, specifically nerve agents, are among the most toxic substances ever created.
Are you hearing it? It's one of the most toxic substance ever created. Look at the kind of the wars that is coming up because of this particular chemical weapon. Not the strong, powerful, more than any substance ever created in this world. VS chemical is more than nuclear bomb. It is modern chemical agents are specifically never and among the most toxic substance ever created in this life. I want you to see. I want to understand it clearly. I want you to know that this is a message that you will not play with. Reach out to your people in the homeland. Warn them seriously. You have seen many videos in the past where a Fulani man will carry a chemical that will kill and pretend to sell it as manpower or as, you know what we call kai kai, and many of them like that is happening. That is why we don't have to wait for it to happen again. And please 1 minute. Listen to this. Oh God.
Leading to constant contraction and eventual respiratory failure. Novichoks. These are even more potent, designed to be harder to detect, and more lethal than VX. 2. The silent reach. Unlike a bullet or a shell, chemical weapons can follow the terrain and penetrate hardened targets. Contamination. Persistent agents, like mustard gas or VX, can linger on surfaces, clothing, and soil for days or weeks, making an entire area uninhabitable. Penetration. Gases can seep into bunkers, trenches, and buildings that would otherwise protect soldiers from traditional shrapnel. 3. Categories of power. To understand their effects, it helps to see how they attack the body. Category. Example. Primary effect. Nerve agents. Sarin, VX, Novichok. Shuts down the nervous system. Causes asphyxiation. Blister agents. Mustard gas.
So, I hope you are listening. I tried to, when I heard about this particular chemical, I tried to research the powerful, the strength of this chemical, and what this chemical can do on a human skin, and what it can do if it enters your mouth. That is why I take my time out to make findings about this particular chemical weapon. And that is why I'm bringing out our people to understand this clearly. Remember that Nigeria is that country. Whatever you had from there, coming out from their mouth is pure truth. Before they will open their mouth and this message leak out, check, think, research your mind. Do not play with this. Send a very important message to the people in the homeland for them to understand this particular this particular chemical weapon that's Nigeria. This is in Nigeria, not that they are planning. And because of that, this man understands it, and he's also afraid as somebody who is in line to protect the jihadist movement, who work with ICC, who work with ISWAP, who work with bandits, who work with Boko Haram. That is why the man think that maybe Rebado will try to use it on his people, and he raised the alarm. The alarm is also in our own favor, because the only place that Nigeria used to test anything that can kill human being is in Biafran territory. The only place that Nigeria is testing anything bad is in our own territory. No other territory. No other places. They use it to kill our people on unaccountable times. Remember about the Operation Python dance. Remember Operation Python dance 1, 2, 3. Remember. Remember everything that has happened. Call your people. Tell them to be careful. The best option is do not buy anything from the Fulani's hand. Even those that are preparing suya. Do not. Look at it. A single drop of 10, a single drop on a skin about 10 milligrams can kill an adult in 1 minute. Not that you swallow it too. Only a single drop of it on your skin, on our skin, can kill adult in 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. So think of where you have swallowed it with anything that's they miss it as they are cooking it, or as they are frying their suya, or whatever they are bringing out there. Listen. It can kill an adult in 1 minute. Only 10 milligram. 10 milligram. Not mg. 10 milligram can kill an adult in 1 minute. It works by blocking that tells you that could not allow your muscle to relax. It will put you on, in fact, it will put you on pains and anger. On towards that 1 minute, human being has gone. Only 1 minute. Take something that can touch the skin. Only 1 minute, it is over. Now think of when you eat something that it was being mixed up with. What will happen in your body? That may be under 30 seconds. Someone is over. Under 5 seconds. Because if it can kill on 1 minute of touching on the skin, think of once it enters into the stomach, how it will just instantly kill people. Call your people, warn them to stop taking anything from the hands of the Fulanese. It is very, very important at this stage for us to pay attention. Do not take that particular message as not being true. What message is that? Message of this VS is not your brother. It's not something that you can play with. That is why I want to take our time to dwell on it, to encourage our people to be mindful of what they are eating. Something that has power more than nuclear bomb. Is it your mate? Something that has power more than nuclear bomb is not our mate. And we can never allow ourselves to get close to it at all. When you see those people that are selling perfume in Biafra land, those Fulanese that usually come across our different areas, our different houses to sell this particular, they are selling all these things. Please, I urge you to stop buying from their hands, even perfume, because they can do undo in the name of to Islamize all of us. In the name of to Islamize all of us. That is why I am here to let you know the importance of this for our life to be secured. For our life to be secured. it is very, very important at this stage that we all must pay attention to the message that is coming out. Also, our DPM has also put this on her S handle or on her wall. So you can go there, you will see it by yourself. So you can go there and see it by yourself. So you will know that this is not a child's play. It's something serious. And once Nigeria is planning anything evil, it's for us. Because they never want us to stay. They never want us to live. Rather, they want to wipe us away so they can be able to take their territory. They can be able to continue their Islamization. They can be able to continue what? Their Islamization agenda. That is why we as people of Biafra must adhere to every important instruction and be very careful at this stage that Nigeria is doing anything. If this, the way I see this particular chemical is the same way I see Nigeria removing our own history in the history book of Nigeria. This is the same way I see this particular oil. I don't know about this particular chemical. I don't know about you. Because removing it is to wipe us away. So the history of the world will no longer talk about us. They have started removing us from the history. They can also use this to wipe our people away. That is why we must tell our people to be very careful of things they eat and how they are moving. Look at the chemical weapon that even the world puts sanction on it. Nigeria is a signatory to the rules that nobody should use it. That is why we are calling on the UN, EU, AU, US, Canada, Israel, Russia to check out, to investigate Nigeria. If such thing happens, if such thing is there, you know the sanction, give it to them and take it away from them, because the only thing that they want to do is to wipe the indigenous people away, to continue the process of jihadist movement to Islamize us. Remember that Turkey never an Islamized country, never Islamic country. You know that Palestine or Pakistan is not Islamic country in the first place, but they did what? They try to. They make everything possible to Islamize the people. Nigeria on the agenda of Islamization can do anything more than humanly possible to achieve their goals and what they plan to do. That is why I am sending you this message. That is why I am playing this audio voice, so you can listen carefully. If my English is too bad for you, so you can hear from this particular area.
The severe chemical burns on skin and in lungs. Choking agents. Chlorine, phosgene. Floods the lungs with fluid. Dry land drowning. Blood agents. Hydrogen.
Are you here? Dry land, and the building will drown. The building will sink. Look at this chemical weapon. Listen to the strength, the powerful of this chemical weapon. I'm going to bring some things, those that I've been talking about this, so for you to tell your people in the homeland, or if you're in the homeland, be very mindful of anything you are buying from the shop of Fulani man. Any shop of Fulani man, be careful of what you are buying from there. Be careful of those that are coming into our rural area to sell something for you very cheap. Be careful of those that sell common perfume. Be careful of those ones that sell spreading mosquito coil. Be very careful. Be careful of buying even mosquito coil, because they can use in anything. You know who they are. That they never meant well for us. They wanted to wipe us away. That is why we must continue to adhere to instructions at this stage. And in that that is coming out, we have to take it very serious. We have to take it very, very serious on this stage that we are into.
Cyanide. Prevents cells from using oxygen. 4. The weapon of terror. The power of
The weapon of terror. The weapon of what? Terror.
For weapons is often more psychological than physical. Panic.
Are you hearing it? The weapon of the power of this chemical weapon is often more physical than more physiologic than physical. You may see it, it will look very small on your eyes. It may look like water. And this substance, this chemical weapon, if they add it into water for you to take shower, you will not know. Remember, they say only 10 milligram, only 10 milligram in 1 hour. That's in 1 minute that touches your body can kill, and there is no medication to cure it. Now think of when you take it and you swallow it, what will happen? That means 1 second. The one on the skin, 1 minute. Now think of swallowing it inside your stomach. 1 second is enough to kill human being.
Because they are often invisible or odorless, they create a deep sense of dread. Resource.
They are not. You cannot see them. Invisible. You will not notice it in anything at all. Triple M, I see you. Good evening from here. Nwa Guru, I see you. Thank you so much. Anthony, I see you. I see you. Thank you so much. Nweke, I see you. Thank you so much. Move. I see you. Thank you. The name is very small to see from here. I see you. Omonna Arinze. Thank you so much. I see all of you. I want us to pay attention on this particular. Why I am making this out is for you to know the powerful of this weapon, this chemical weapon that a former governor of Nigeria is asking why did Rebado, the Nigeria chief of staff, why did he got this particular weapon in Nigeria? Why did he bought it and keep it in Nigeria? And he's asking on his letter, where did you want to use this? Military, are they destroying houses? Military, are they destroying houses? Divine Precious, I saw your program today. I listened to it. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful one. Sorry for the loss, my sister. I was looking away to reach you. I don't know why I could not. I don't know how I misplaced your number. Sorry, my dear sister. Biafra, we wipe away your tears. Our recognition, we wipe away your tears. Sorry for that, my sister. This weapon, and that is why I'm making it so for you to listen carefully without missing words.
Strength. Treating chemical casualties is incredibly difficult.
Thus, only the casual difficulties he created on a human being, that it is very difficult to treat a human being that this chemical weapon that Nigeria bought over and keep in their room store this time around. Only that the one that touches in the skin is very, very difficult to get treatment of it. That's why they said it is more powerful than nuclear bomb. That this SV chemical weapon, so this VX chemical weapon is more dangerous than bomb. That if it touches the skin, in 1 minute, person life is gone. And you know those that are buying this and those that can give it to. They will give it to all these people that are selling clothes inside village for you. They might rub it in clothes because they said that if they put it in anything, that this substance, that nobody will notice anything about it. If they put it in drinking water, you will not know. If they put, that is why the best option is this time around is to be mindful of what we eat from the hands of the Fulani jihadis that are selling things in our area. Avoid I have said it, let me say it again. Avoid buying perfume from the hand. You know that they sell cheap perfumes. They sell cheap clothes in the rural areas. Come into your house and ask you want to buy perfume. You want to do not buy, even eating their suya. Our people. Because if that person prepares the suya, after preparing the suya, sprinkling it on the suya, you will not know, and you will buy, you eat, you will gone, and people will be dying anyhow. I hope you are paying attention.
Requires specialized suits, decontamination showers, and specific antidotes, like atropine, which can quickly overwhelm a medical system. A note
It can overwhelm a medical system. Something that after you have taken it, you cannot be able to do what? No medication to cure it. No hospital will take care of you and you will survive. It kills in 1 minute.
on international law, because of their indiscriminate nature, meaning they can't distinguish between a soldier and a child. Chemical weapons are strictly banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which almost every country in the world has signed. Would you like me to explain?
I hope you had it that every country in the world will sign that nobody should use it in their country. Before Nasser El Raf starts talking about it and starts asking Rebado, why did you bought this particular weapon? There is something we don't know about it. And because of this fight that are going on, he's also proving to the world, if you arrest me with EFCC, that the international community should arrest Rebado and ask him, why do you bought this particular chemical weapon in Nigeria? Why we are among those that signed this treaty that no country should import this particular chemical? Then why did we import this chemical in Nigeria? And he was man continuously asking, where did you want to use this chemical? In which areas? Now there is a law. That is why we tag UN, we tag EU, we tag AU, we tag all of them, both America, to check out if Nigeria has this chemical really. If they have it, you know what to do. Nigeria also a signatory that signs that this chemical can never be imported to any country or be used by any country. Nigeria is a lawless country. Nigeria does not respect rule of laws. Nigeria does not respect rules of engagement. They don't know about it. Nigeria do what they want. The world, you are only the one to check about this and find out what will happen. I will play it again before we go more.
A history of how these were first developed, or perhaps go into the science of how a specific agent like sarin affects the body.
Okay. So listen now without me saying a word. Please like and share.
The short answer is terrifyingly powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they aren't designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. They are designed specifically to incapacitate, injure, or kill people through physiological interference. Their power isn't measured in megatons like a nuclear bomb, but rather in toxicity, persistence, and psychological impact. 1. High lethality in low doses. Modern chemical agents, specifically nerve agents, are among the most toxic substances ever created. VX nerve agent. A single drop on the skin, about 10 milligrams, can kill an adult in minutes. It works by blocking the enzyme that tells your muscles to relax, leading to constant contraction and eventual respiratory failure. Novichoks. These are even more potent, designed to be harder to detect and more lethal than VX. 2. The silent reach. Unlike a bullet or a shell, chemical weapons can follow the terrain and penetrate hardened targets. Contamination. Persistent agents like mustard gas or VX can linger on surfaces, clothing, and soil for days or weeks, making an entire area uninhabitable. Penetration. Gases can seep into bunkers, trenches, and buildings that would otherwise protect soldiers from traditional shrapnel. 3. Categories of power. To understand their effects, it helps to see how they attack the body. Category. Examples. Primary effect. Nerve agents. Sarin, VX, Novichok. Shuts down the nervous system. Causes asphyxiation. Blister agents. Mustard gas. Causes severe chemical burns on skin and in lungs. Choking agents. Chlorine, phosgene. Floods the lungs with fluid. Dry land drowning. Blood agents. Hydrogen cyanide. Prevents cells from using oxygen. 4. The weapon of terror. The power of chemical weapons is often more psychological than physical. Panic. Because they are often invisible or odorless, they create a deep sense of dread. Resource strain. Treating chemical casualties is incredibly difficult. It requires specialized suits, decontamination showers, and specific antidotes, like atropine, which can quickly overwhelm a medical system. A note on international law. Because of their indiscriminate nature, meaning they can't distinguish between a soldier and a child, chemical weapons are strictly banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which almost every country in the world has signed. Would you like me to explain the history of how these were first developed, or perhaps go into the science of how a specific agent like sarin affects the body?
Please like and share the program as you are listening. If you are first time coming, there is a 3 dot in front of you. Touch on that 3 dot of your phone, then you will see like and share. So share it to Biafran people, those moreover in the homeland. We want them to get this message to be careful of things they are buying from those Fulanis that are coming into our doorstep to ask you, can't you buy perfume, buy clothes from us? This is the areas that we want to take measure about, so to serve our people in the homeland. It is very important, it's very imperative. Do not feel like, what is he talking about? I'm talking about life, to save our life. To do what? To save our life. The security aspect of it is the most important part of it. Let's continue listening. Even though that the world are denying that this chemical is not in Nigeria, and even Nigeria also deny that they don't have it, but anything that you hear from Nigeria, you must check it 3 times in a day for you to find out if it is true. And it is true because of from the horse's mouth is coming from. That is why we have to check and let our people know that such a thing is going on in Nigeria right now. Now, look at this and compare this to all the killings. And if Nigeria see anything very easily to wipe away the Biafran people, if they cannot do it because they never want us to live with them, they want to occupy our territory, like every other countries in the world. This is how it happens to them, and Nigeria has planned the same thing on us. After our declaration, a lot is happening, a lot is going on underground. They are making all the plans to wipe us away. They are making all their plans. They are doing everything humanly possible to off our life. Please, my people, do not take this message ungrateful. Share this message, that people understand it. Stop buying anything from these killers. Stop buying anything from their hand. Buy from your fellow brother. And it's a high time sometimes when you buy things, you let someone around you to know from the workshop you got it from. All this as security measure for you to be alive. All these things is what? Is security measure for us to live in this world, for us to continuously living. It's very, very important at this stage. Anytime in Biafra territory, we had that people died anyhow, Nigerian government should get answer. They must answer this. It is very, very important at this stage we are into that we understand the importance of our life. Nigeria is a country of lies and deceit, a country of genocide. Now that the eyes of the world is in Nigeria, Nigeria might decide to change their way. They might ask these Fulanis to come, these Boko Haram members, these ICCs, to come out from the bush and start selling some things that they have been poisoned that can take away life. They can do that. What Nigeria can do does not exist when it's come to off the life of the Biafran people. Now that the eyes is on Nigeria, now that America is there, now that the world is sanctioning Nigeria, they can change their strategies. They can use this chemical to buy people silently. Now that the eyes of the every international power is in Nigeria, Nigeria can do anything to off our life. Nigeria can give this particular chemical weapon that even though that when somebody added it on water, that you not notice about it. Nigeria can use this to manufacture anything and give these men inside bush to come out and be selling. By selling that, they know that if they sell to one family, if they take in 1 minute, over 10 people will give up their life. They will lose their life. That is why it is important for us to check things that we are eating, things that we are buying from the hands of these criminals. It is very, very imperative at this stage. It is the time for us to be careful of our life. This is my message about this chemical. And I have showed you how powerful this chemical it is. You can see something that only touches the skin can kill in 1 minute. And there is no medication that will cure it, because it passes every medication that they can give you for you to be okay. They call it that this man, they are accusing Nigeria over this particular chemical. That is why for me, it's not, nobody's accusing anybody. Chukwuka want to use him to prove their next agenda of wiping away the people of United States of Biafra. They find a way, easy way, that the world cannot ask question. That all these bandits, all this Boko Haram, all this Lakrawa, all this ICC, them, that the world will remove Nigeria on a particular consign. And they can do it by, oh no, there is no more Boko Haram, there is no more insurgency, this thing that you're going to hear from them is simply that they have changed another strategy. Listen to this again.
To answer this clearly, we have to look at how VX works and then address the legal right of any military, including Nigeria's, to possess it. 1. How powerful is VX? VX is arguably the most dangerous man-made chemical ever created. It is a nerve agent, specifically an organophosphate, that is amber-colored, odorless, and has the consistency of motor oil. Lethality. It is roughly 100 times more deadly than sarin gas. A tiny droplet the size of a pinhead on your skin is enough to kill an adult. How it kills? It shuts down the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. Without it, your muscles never get the signal to relax. This leads to violent convulsions, paralysis, and death by respiratory failure, suffocation, within minutes. Persistence. Unlike other gases that evaporate, VX is persistent. It can stay on the ground, on vehicles, or in buildings for days or even weeks, killing anyone who touches a contaminated surface. 2. Does the Nigerian military have the right to order VX? The short and firm answer is no. Under international and domestic law, the Nigerian military has no right to order, possess, or use VX. Here is why. The Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, Nigeria signed this treaty in 1993 and ratified it in 1999. By doing so, Nigeria legally agreed to never develop, produce, acquire, stockpile, or use chemical weapons. The OPCW, Nigeria is a member of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. This group conducts inspections to ensure countries aren't secretly building chemical labs. War crimes. The use of VX is considered a war crime under the Rome Statute. Any commander or leader who ordered its use would be subject to trial at the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague. 3. Regarding Nobadu, General Nababa, or similar figures. If you are referring to a specific military commander or a historical figure, like a General Nobadu, there is no public or verified record of a high-ranking Nigerian official successfully ordering VX. In the global arms market, VX is not something you can simply buy, like a tank or a rifle. It is a Schedule I substance, meaning its production is tracked globally. If Nigeria or any nation tried to order it, the international community, the UN and the OPCW, would flag it immediately, leading to massive sanctions or even military intervention. Summary table. VX versus international law. Feature. Reality of VX. Legal status in Nigeria. Detection. Very hard to see or smell. Illegal to possess. Antidote. Requires immediate injection of atropine. Not standard issue for Nigerian troops. Right to use. None. Strictly prohibited by the CWC Treaty. Consequence. Total mass casualty. International pariah status and ICC trials. A peer's perspective. While there are often rumors in high-tension zones, like the Biafran regions or the Northeast, that secret weapons are being ordered, VX is a red line weapon. Using it would be a suicide mission for a government's reputation, as it would likely trigger an immediate foreign military response to secure the chemicals. Would you like to know how the international community tracks these chemicals to make sure they don't end up in the wrong hands?
Okay. I hope we are listening. And I hope you are paying attention. There is things when you see them, you may overlook them. You know that the issue to Islamize Nigeria is on a high level. And those that want to Islamize Nigeria can do undo. They can do what? They can do undo. They will start having from one strategy to another strategy. They have tried to use Naira Rand, money, and they continue using this issue of money today. But sometimes they think that the issue of using Naira Rand money to buy everybody up is not easy. They have brought their Fulani pastors to bring our Paul inside church. These are strategies. So this weapon must be one of the deadliest secret strategies Nigeria has. The explanation of it is also proof to you that it can be used to wipe people away. It can kill thousands. It can kill many people within a space of 1 minute. If this touches 10 people, it kills them in 1 minute. This chemical. Even though the world are looking away for them to track it, if they are tracking this, that is why we are sending this message now, for them to check Nigeria, to know if this particular, if there is something like that, to prove what that ex-governor said, that Nigeria has imported VS chemical. They say that they make it open for us to understand that this chemical is more deadlier than what? Than bomb. Nuclear weapon, that this chemical is deadlier than nuclear weapon. Something that is very powerful, more than nuclear weapon. And you heard that Nigeria has it in their place. And they think that when we keep saying it's okay. No. If you listen carefully, you may understand that this chemical, even though you add it in water, that it doesn't change the color of water. Even if they put it inside perfume and give it to you, it doesn't have even common scent. It doesn't smell 1 inch. It doesn't smell at all. So simply, they can put it, apply it into anything and use it. This chemical can be applied into anything that these Fulanis are selling, that these Fulanis are giving people to take. This something like that, that even when you put it inside water, that nobody knows. So that when you put it inside anything, there is no odor. There is nothing to smell about. It doesn't have scent, nothing. And the information is coming that Nigeria has imported it. And ex-governor is asking, why did the Rebado bought this particular chemical weapon? Where do you want to use it? This is a question that triggers EFCC to arrest this man. because they want to indict him, to close up his mouth. So from where he stopped, we need to carry it out, let the world know. Let the world track this particular chemical weapon down to Nigeria to checkmate if it is true. For the guarantee of the people of Biafra, because the only place they are going to use this chemical weapon is in Biafra land. There is many ways they can use it. They can put it in perfume and ask their people to go and sell. They can put it inside that their medicine they call manpower. They can use and miss that medication, and nobody will understand or experience anything. They can put it into sprinkling it on even tomato they sell. When you got home, once it enters your stomach, human being is gone. It is a right time to our people to bought from their own people first. And I am happy that these days that Biafran people are producing fresh tomato by themselves. We must take measure. We must take precaution of our life. Even all these their cheap clothes they are selling, all these their cheap shoes that they bring to our home to buy from their hand. If they spray it inside the shoe, if it touches your leg, in 1 minute the person's life is off. Listen.
To answer this clearly, we have to look at how VX works and then address the legal right of any military, including Nigeria's, to possess it. 1. How powerful is VX? VX is arguably the most dangerous man-made chemical ever created. It is a nerve agent, specifically an organophosphate, that is amber-colored, odorless, and has the consistency of motor oil. Lethality. It is roughly 100 times more deadly than sarin gas. A tiny droplet the size of a pinhead on your skin is enough to kill an adult. How it kills. It shuts down the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. Without it, your muscles never get the signal to relax. This leads to violent convulsions, paralysis, and death by respiratory failure, suffocation.
Is there violent convulsion? Your muscle cannot relax until 1 minute or double mad. This chemical na-ekwu na-ebu to the Nigerian government na the chief armed staff of Nigeria, Rebado, bought it. He ordered for it. And that is why the governor is asking, where do you want to use it for? He wants to know if they want to use it to wipe away the Boko Harams that are the one. I don't know the volume. I think the volume is okay, my brother. Good evening. You're welcome to the platform. But let me change from far to close so people can hear it. Please, as we are doing this program, share it. Let your people call them in the homeland. Give them instruction. It's a high time they stop taking anything, because the military might not use it by themselves, but you know how they do. They will give their foot soldiers. Their foot soldiers are those that are selling perfume. They come to your house and sell perfume. Their foot soldiers are those that are selling clothes. Their foot soldiers are those that are those cattle, those that are moving cow from here to here. You know that they told you that Mietiela said that these are our foot soldiers. Remember that. They can easily give it to them to sell through little things. You know that they can put it inside this bottle and shake the bottle. It will goes off dry. When you put water on it and drink, you are gone. That is why you must stop buying from them. That is why when you got anything, you let your people to know where you got it from. So in case anything happens, do you trust Nigeria? That is why people of Biafra hesitated, because they never meant well for us. They only plan how to can waste our life and wipe us away. That's why the Chukwu Okabiam refused that they should not do that.
Within minutes. Persistence. Unlike other gases that evaporate, VX is persistent. It can stay on the ground, on vehicles, or in buildings for days or even weeks, killing anyone who touches a contaminated surface. 2. Does the Nigerian military have the right to order VX? The short and firm answer is no. Under international and domestic law, the Nigerian military has no right to order, possess, or use VX. Here is why. The Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, Nigeria signed this treaty in 1993 and ratified it in 1999. By doing so, Nigeria legally agreed to never develop, produce, acquire, stockpile, or use chemical weapons. The OPCW, Nigeria is a member of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. This group conducts inspections to ensure countries aren't secretly building chemical labs. War crimes. The use of VX is considered a war crime under the Rome Statute. Any commander or leader who ordered its use would be subject to trial at the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague. 3. Regarding Nobadu, General Nababa, or similar figures. If you are referring...
Let's hold it here for now. Listen. Now that the Nigeria also signed treaty not to have this particular chemical weapon in Nigeria, the word information has reached to all of you that Nigeria has it. You have machine or way of tracking it. You have to track Nigeria to checkmate if not, they want to use it to give those marauders, they want to use it to give those Fulanis to go and sell in store areas. Even if anything they are selling, do you know that you can be robbed this thing on something? You can rub it on body of this, and what will happen when someone touches it? It can kill. You had it here that it can stay for some days. That this particular chemical can stay for some days on the inside car. Anywhere you put this, it can stay for some days. If you eventually touch it, you are gone. Remember that only touching on your skin, it can be off, can be by people in 1 minute. In just 1 minute. Be careful of your life. This time around, we must be careful of things we eat. We must be careful of things we bought and things we touch. Only touching 1 minute. Only touching 1 minute. Human being has passed and human being has been died. This is how this oil works. That is why we are calling on the international community to pay attention to listen. The same way they have this, in the same way today in Osso, they are there bombarding our people, the indigenous people of Osso. We are letting the world to know that the time that we are into is for them to interfere into the Afran matter. Because they did not bath this chemical just for themselves, but to wipe us away. And then we said that there is no population to give Biafra. Because in Nigeria, anything is possible. That is why we are sending this message for them to know that we are not going to take it easy with anybody. So far we have understanding, and if such a thing happens, remember the signs of it. You will not rest until you pass away. Let us be focused.
To a specific military commander or a historical figure, like a General Nobadu, there is no public or verified record of a high-ranking Nigerian official successfully ordering VX. In the global arms market, VX is not something you can simply buy, like a tank or a rifle. It is a Schedule I substance, meaning its production is tracked globally. If Nigeria or any nation tried to order it, the international community, the UN and the OPCW, would flag it immediately, leading to massive sanctions or even military intervention. Summary table: VX versus international law. Feature: reality of VX. Legal status in Nigeria. Detection: very hard to see or smell. Illegal to possess. Antidote:
very hard to see it what smell.
Because of the chemical.
Very hard to see this chemical smell. That's what they say. That they can put it in anything. That is why the word have an agreement that no country should order for it. Why did Nigeria order it?
The Weapons Convention, CWC. Almost every country in the world has officially stopped producing chemical weapons. As of 2026, the global situation is a mix of declared success and undeclared suspicions. Here is the breakdown of who is involved with these weapons today. 1. The countries that do not belong to the treaty. There are only a few countries that have refused to sign or ratify the treaty. These are the countries most widely suspected of maintaining production capabilities or active stockpiles. North Korea, widely believed to have one of the world's largest chemical weapon programs. Experts estimate they possess between 2,500 and 5,000 tons of agents, including VX and sarin. They have not signed the treaty and face no international inspections. Egypt has neither signed nor ratified the treaty. While they don't publicly admit to having them, they are historically known to have produced them in the 1960s. Israel has signed the treaty but not ratified it. This means they are not subject to the same strict inspections as other nations. They maintain a policy of ambiguity. They neither confirm nor deny having them. South Sudan, the world's newest country, has yet to join the treaty, though they have expressed intent to do so. 2. Countries under heavy suspicion. Undeclared programs. Even though these countries have signed the treaty, international watchdogs, like the OPCW, and intelligence agencies frequently accuse them of maintaining secret programs. Syria. Following the fall of the Assad government in late 2024, international inspectors, OPCW, have been working throughout 2025 and 2026.
This is to prove to you that this in how strong it is. That's why they are mentioning the names of countries that they did not sign treaty about it, and those that have signed. And they had it here that the world are watching those that never signed this treaty, that they will never use it. So once you see the information coming out, we are not going to play with this information. That is why we are letting the world to know that this that is going on in Nigeria, this is how they start the rumor of Boko Haram in Nigeria. The way you heard about this VS chemical weapon is the same way we heard about Boko Haram, ISRL, and today they are all over everywhere. It becomes reality. That's why I told that once it's coming out from Nigeria, it is true that once you shake. The same way is the same we start hearing about importing what? Boko Haram. This is how Nigeria importing bandits. This is how they import all these groups that are killing people today in Nigeria. People, 1 minute, please. Sorry, my people. Nigeria government imported Boko Haram, right? And we had it like a rumor. Today, is it not reality? Today, is it not reality? The same way it's reality today, and that time is a rumor that Bulgaria was the one who imported Boko Haram in Nigeria, and they could not go back. Today, Boko Haram is terrorizing all Nigeria and killing the indigenous people. What happened again? We have heard about V6 chemical weapon that was being imported by Nigeria military commander, Rebado. He is the one who imported this. So the world should shake. So far, Nigeria is among those signed treaty that they should never import it. So please, the world, check out to save the life of the indigenous people in Nigeria. These facts and figures, that message we are sending to the world for them to know. After playing it more once again, we will shift to the second session of this program.
The short answer is terrifyingly powerful. Chemical weapons are unique because they aren't designed to destroy buildings or infrastructure. They are designed specifically to incapacitate, injure, or kill people through physiological interference. Their power isn't measured in megatons like a nuclear bomb, but rather in toxicity, persistence, and psychological impact. 1. High lethality in low doses. Modern chemical agents, specifically nerve agents, are among the most toxic substances ever created. VX nerve agent. A single drop on the skin, about 10 milligrams, can kill an adult in minutes. It works by blocking the enzyme that tells your muscles to relax, leading to constant contraction and eventual respiratory failure. Novichokes. These are even more potent, designed to be harder to detect and more lethal than VX. 2. The silent reach. Unlike a bullet or a shell, chemical weapons can follow the terrain and penetrate hardened targets. Contamination. Persistent agents, like mustard gas or VX, can linger on surfaces, clothing, and soil for days or weeks, making an entire area uninhabitable. Penetration. Gases can seep into bunkers, trenches, and buildings that would otherwise protect soldiers from traditional shrapnel. 3. Categories of power. To understand their effects, it helps to see how they attack the body. Category. Examples. Primary effect. Nerve agents. Sarin, VX, Novichok, shuts down the nervous system, causes asphyxiation. Blister agents. Mustard gas, causes severe chemical burns on skin and in lungs. Choking agents. Chlorine, phosgene, floods the lungs with fluid, dry land drowning. Blood agents. Hydrogen cyanide, prevents cells from using oxygen. 4. The weapon of terror. The power of chemical weapons is often more psychological than physical. Panic. Because they are often invisible or odorless, they create a deep sense of dread. Resource strain. Treating chemical casualties is incredibly difficult. It requires specialized suits, decontamination showers, and specific antidotes, like atropine, which can quickly overwhelm a medical system. A note on international law. Because of their indiscriminate nature, meaning they can't distinguish between a soldier and a child, chemical weapons are strictly banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which almost every country in the world has signed. Would you like me to explain the history of how these were first developed, or perhaps go into the science of how a specific agent like sarin affects the body?
I hope you listen. This is how powerful another structure of Nigeria to destroy the indigenous people. Because they are afraid that Boko Haram cannot, so they are quickly changing their method. And they will think like it's a child's play. And we will be here, it will happen. That is why we are calling on the international community to check about this, to save the life of the indigenous people. Now, on this second session of this program is where we are going to find out another strategy. Remember, the strategy that they are using right now is to do what? To use chemical to Islamize all people by taking away their life. That is why we must continue to make sure that when such information comes out, that we follow it up. Now that they have said the movement of Biafra as a country is becoming reality, they might change their mind of let us wipe them away and say there is no population Nigeria can do unto. At this stage we are into, it's no longer the stage that when we hear some things or see some things, we should look away from it. No. Those things call for us to pay more deeper attention to it. And the second strategy I found on my own is that today they have been sending the Fulani pastors in our territory. Why are they sending them? And what do you think they can teach except Islamization? That is why we all must be careful at this point in order we are doing. Avoid Hadaino comes at last. Because when this Hadaino comes at last, you're not going to like it. Either me. And for me, I don't want it. It is a high time that every Biafrans be watchful and mindful of what you eat, so we may live long. Do not live a life that you regret. Why do I do this? And why is not? So to avoid all this, it is very important for you to understand that what is happening in Nigeria is any possible means they can wipe away the indigenous people. That is why they are doing it. That is the only reason why they are doing what they are doing. Not that there is something that benefits, but for every Biafran to suppress us down more and more and continue in the behalf of one Nigeria, they think that we are listening to that, but they never know how prepared we are. That is why we must take measure of our life at this stage that we are into. Please, my people. I'm coming. Sorry, 1 minute. Advert.
There is a very strong move now to introduce Sharia law in the southeast part of Nigeria. No, you didn't hear me well. I said they are planning to introduce Sharia law in the southeast. My Igbo people, are you aware of this? I know most of you will be shocked, just as I was shocked when I saw this news too. And as we speak now, Senator Eninia Baribe has warned them that the moves they are making to introduce Sharia law in the southeast will trigger unrest. Senator Eninia Baribe is telling them that this planning you guys are making to introduce Sharia in the southeast part of Nigeria will trigger unrest. Please stay with me because we are about to expose another big one. Today is the 13th day of February 2026. Now, before I go further to give you the details of this news, I want to first of all tell you what Sharia is and also tell you what Sharia prohibits, because most of us don't know. Oftentimes we hear Sharia, Sharia, Sharia. We don't even know what it is. We don't even know what it entails. So let's start from what is Sharia. According to Google, it says that Islamic law, commonly referred to as Sharia, governs interpersonal conduct and regulates the ritual practices of Muslims. It governs interpersonal conduct. Or in other words, what they mean is that they want to introduce the worship of Islam in the southeast part of Nigeria. So my brothers and sisters, are you ready? Now let's go to what it prohibits. The things that Sharia law prohibits, according to Google also it says, Sharia law prohibits actions deemed harmful or against God's will, all right? Categorized into religious, ethical, and legal infractions. Key prohibitions include consuming alcohol. My brothers, once Sharia law is introduced in the southeast, no more alcohol. I hope you know. He said, consuming alcohol and the pork. What is pork? The meat of a pig. So all that Nnewi side, where now they go buy pork meat, is over. Okay, he went on to say it also prohibits gambling. All bet Niger, sporty bet, all of them will be closed down. It also prohibits charging or paying interest. So once you give somebody money, even bank, all the sectors, even your personal money you give to somebody to return with interest, it will be over. If you give somebody 1,000, the person will return 1,000. If you give somebody 1 million, the person will return 1 million. No more interest. All right? Excessive uncertainty in contracts and the murder. All right? It also prohibits several criminal punishments exist for thief, adultery, and apostasy. Now, there are several punishments for those that steal. If you steal, they might cut one of your hand or one of your leg, or one of your hand and one of your leg. If you commit adultery, married man or married woman go sleep with another person, they will cut off neither one of your hand, one of your leg, or one of your hand and one of your leg. That is how they do it. And apostasy. What is apostasy? Apostasy is that you cannot renounce, you cannot reject the faith again. That once you are a Muslim and you are practicing Sharia, no more. You cannot wake up one day and say, I don't do again. It is not allowed. Are you ready? Now, as I speak to you, 12 states out of 36 states in Nigeria practice Sharia, and they are, according to this, we see, these places that show yellow are the places that practice Sharia law in Nigeria. They are Borno, Gombe, Yobe, Jingawa, Kaduna, Bauchi, Katsina, Zamfara, Kaduna, Niger, Kebbi, and Sokoto. There are 12 of them. So, out of 36 states in Nigeria, currently 12 states practice Sharia law. Of course, this is Abuja, the federal territory. It will get there soon. And of course, this is Ilori, this is Yoruba land. From Ilori, you get down to Oyo before you get down to Lagos. And I can tell you that all this killing happening in Kwara State, this is where Kwara is located, that their main target is to introduce this Sharia down to this place, and down all the way to Yoruba land. So they are planning. This is where East is located. Biafra is located around here. So they are also planning to carry out or to introduce their Sharia law all the way from this place. They will meet, and the whole of Nigeria will be practicing Sharia law. It shock you? That is reality, what is happening in Nigeria. Some of us don't know. We wake up every day, we go to our business.
So as we are listening to this, it's possible that is a Sharia law, and also trying to enforce it on people. If they think that this force they want to use is not working, they might change their method. So now that today we are making it for you to understand about this their chemical weapon, VS. I want to understand that they can also use it as one of their strategies to make sure that they Islamize everybody. It's not when you are alive that you protect your territory. Now, if they can be able to today to penetrate all the way to Enugu State and our people openly proving that they are Muslims, that the Hana Habus in the Sharia, that's what I told in Nigeria, anything is possible.
Places, we don't know the plans these people are planning.
The only plan they are planning is to Islamize all of us. Whatever it will make them to make sure that every territory in Biafra becomes Islam is the agenda, nothing more than that. And you know, they take time to plan. Today, our people focus on Ngozi Arabeze, Ngozi Arabofulani, and I was like picture gentle. Why people want to see Biafra land? Do you understand this clearly? When these things are happening, there is a reason why it's happening. Benjamin, you are welcome. Chibos Zede, you are welcome. Divine, you are welcome. Frank, you are fresh, you are welcome. Then hello, my brother. Thank you so much. Hello. I remember those days. Every day we talk. Every day you online. Thank you so much, because I want to do changes. It happens like that. So please, as usual, please like and share the program, please. The program might seem not to be interesting. You might not like the program, but this the truth and the fact is very slow and steady, that sometimes you may like to walk away from it. This program this evening is on position of things that the strategies of the fallen needs to Islamize everybody through the hands of Nigeria and their help. So, as we are hearing this about Islam and their Sharia law, do you think that it will not happen? Now, think of our people in Enugu who come out openly in open place to worship Islam. Now, in that area, what do you think that is law that is there? Is it not Sharia law? Is what they are using. And actually, they will tell you that you can never come out in life and renounce or change scope to any other church. I know that our people are doing because of the hard economy that Nigeria posted on our people. So when some Igbo men decided to do and give them money instead of their freedom. They decided to do whatever that will give them money instead of their own freedom. That is why people are now be setting you can have na Biafra land. Can you imagine that? But it's also an agenda. Let's continue.
That the area they divide Nigeria, the better. Otherwise, it will get worse. In the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years, what will happen in Nigeria? I'm not praying, but from the reality of what we are seeing, it is likely
that will stop
to
this
happen.
is what?
Now,
United States of Biafra recognition. Now we move on the program. I want to see all this. One of the agenda. Now this is they have 3 agendas. They have the chemical weapon. They have building Sharia court and Sharia Islamization in Enugu State. Now they introduce Fulani pastors also. Could you imagine? And if care not take, our people will join them. Those small time and they will start sharing money for you to come to their church. Or you hear, I went to the church of this man, he shares money, our people need money, you will see them running in there. For that, this is strategies of this 2026 to make sure that they captured you and Islamize our people. When things are unfolding, pay attention and be sending messages to the people in the homeland to be very wise and be very careful. These areas are very important because they will continue changing their strategies. They have found out. 1 minute. So, my people, these things are strategies. Now, you are this. These things are strategies that Fulanis are using on us. Naira Ren. Become an Islam. I give you 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. People are running because this is how Nigeria plan to cripple everybody to do Babianla. That is why things are not moving. That is why things are not going up. Now, as I have listened to these videos, what do you think that is that thing that will end Islamization of Nigeria? What do you think that what will end this nonsense that is going on in Enugu State? What do you think? Tell me on the comment section what you think that will be the end point of this our people that are messing up in Enugu State or all over Biafra that are claiming Islam because it's in Owerri, it's in Akwa Ibom, it's in Enugu State right now. Even in Odu Anambra, is there. So tell me, what is that thing you think I will end it? Is it an attack in Godabeze we end it, or for you to do your own Biafra in your own way? Then you and Godabeze, whoever first get recognition should say so to the other one. Please, my people, what do we think that will stop Islamization in Biafra territory? Tell me what you think that will stop Islamization in Old or in Eastern region, please. What I want to see in the comment section, what did you think that will stop Islamization? What do you think that will quench all this that's happening around us about Islam? We are a Christian state. Yes, people said there. I can see you. In Ebonyi State, Biafra land, Biafra region. Yes. Then what can we do more? Now that Biafra has been re-declared, if there is no declaration, there is no nation, and there is no recognition. And you know that our declaration proving we have a nation that are seeking recognition is only hope to end Islamization. That is why they are using our people to fight against it. See, when you see what Ogen create them and all these groups are doing, do not just think they are doing for just, they are doing to help them to Islamize our people. For Biafra, because they know that once Biafra is a country, that the Islamization has ended. That is why they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure, if you know what they are doing at our back, if you know how they are attacking our DPM, if you know how they are calling anybody want to have help to destroy it, you will now know on this stage that the only thing we have is this our declaration. Take this word in this way: no declaration, no nation, no recognition. Declaration, no nation, and recognition. Only US recognized, only Biafra as a country is what we end all this. And the process of recognition, the only people that are maintaining this process or this criteria that leads to the international community recognition is only United States of Biafra government, leading us and Arabes and cabinet members. These are the only people who are on the track, who are maintaining the existing protocol of the world for us to do what? For us to be a country or for us to be a nation. There is things that now that they are happening. The same thing that happened in time of Ojukwu is still happening in our own time. Do you also know that people fought for Biafra not to be a country in 1967, 1970? Do you know that? And you may ask yourself, who are those people that fought or pretend why they are fighting to help Nigeria and they are pretending as if they are fighting to Biafra to be a country? Who are those that betrayed? Do you think that Biafran war ended without betrayers? It ended because of over-betrayal. The Biafran war ended because of what? Over-betrayal of some Biafrans that never want Biafra as a country. If you see all the characters of Ogen Kere, Imam Maduabo, Adando Oshu, Chika, the Lazuba woman, is evidence of what happened in 1967 to 1970.
The question of betrayal during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, is a deeply sensitive and debated topic in history. From the perspective of General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and the Biafran leadership, certain figures were viewed as traitors because their actions, whether motivated by tactical disagreement, political realism, or personal gain, undermined the secessionist effort. Here are the primary figures often associated with these claims. 1. The Banjo Ifejuna plot, 1967. The most famous instance occurred early in the war, during the Biafran invasion of the Midwest. Ojukwu accused several high-ranking officers of conspiring to overthrow him and negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria. Brigadier Victor Banjo, a Yoruba officer who fought for Biafra. He led the Midwest invasion, but was accused of intentionally stalling the advance on Lagos. Major Emmanuel Ifejuna, a key figure in the 1966 coup. He was accused of being a lead conspirator in the plot against Ojukwu. Major Philip Alale, a political activist and soldier. Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Agbam, a diplomatic officer. The outcome. All four were court-martialed and executed by firing squad in September 1967. Historians still debate whether they were truly traitors, or if they were simply seeking a way to end the war quickly to avoid further bloodshed. 2. Political and strategic defections. As the war progressed and the humanitarian crisis worsened, several prominent figures who initially supported Biafra eventually broke away or called for surrender, which Ojukwu viewed as a betrayal of the cause. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria and a towering Igbo leader. Initially, he traveled the world to gain recognition for Biafra. However, in 1969, realizing the war was militarily unwinnable and the suffering was too great, he defected back to the Nigerian side and urged Biafrans to abandon the struggle. Ukpabi Asika, an Igbo academic who chose to side with the federal government from the start. He was appointed by Yakubu Gowon as the administrator of the East Central State, the heart of Biafra, while the war was still raging. 3. Internal factions. The saboteurs. This was a general term used within Biafra to describe anyone suspected of leaking information to the federal side or failing to execute military orders. The fear of saboteurs led to significant internal paranoia and sometimes resulted in the execution of innocent soldiers and civilians. A note on perspective. While Ojukwu viewed these men as betrayers, many of them argued that they were trying to save the Igbo people from total annihilation by ending a war that Biafra lacked the resources to win. Would you like me to look into the specific details of the Victor Banjo court-martial, or perhaps the reasons why Nnamdi Azikiwe changed his stance?
I hope you're listening. I will play it again. Listen. Betrayal did not start today. And those that always betray are top people. Now, Nnamdi Azikiwe betrayed Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Nnamdi Azikiwe. That he doesn't want the declaration of Biafra. Today, Oge Nkere and their cohorts don't want declaration. They want to remain on the ground. The only transition of Oge Nkere about Biafra movement is to removing Obatobi as the prime minister and put himself as the prime minister. Now, for position. Nnamdi Azikiwe sabotage Biafra, betrayed Biafra movement through Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu time, and he become the president of Nigeria. I want to connect the dots. Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu is moving forward for Biafra as a country. The authority that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu sent Nnamdi Azikiwe to go and lobby in UK, in Washington DC, about Biafra. He went to British and colluded with them, collided with them, and come back and ask Biafrans to abandon this war, that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu will never win the war. All these things are history. That is when you see all these groups today that never want us to move forward. It's enough evidence to you to understand that they don't want Biafra as a country. That they're all betrayed, they're all saboteurs. They are all compromised. Remember that betrayer did not see the Rebeze and start. Remember that betrayers did not see us and start. Because Nifenema is saying Wanaka. We must continue.
The question of betrayal during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, is a deeply sensitive and debated topic in history. From the perspective of General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and the Biafran leadership, certain figures were viewed as traitors because their actions, whether motivated by tactical disagreement, political realism, or personal gain, undermined the secessionist effort. Here are the primary figures often associated with these claims.
I hope you had it here clearly. Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu has betrayers. The betrayers was the one that makes Biafra to become a failed state. The same way today you see Angel Makeup coming out to announce nonsense social media. Any military or any liberation that are taken or pitching an old country and said because of them that the people should stop sit at home is a collaborator, is a betrayer, is a puppet, is a toil, and is a rebel. This is how the world views such peoples. If at earlier that time that Chukwuemeka or Odumegwu could have betrayers like Nnamdi Azikiwe, and many of them are going to hear their name here, what is coming to your mind for you to know that the good one always suffer?
1. The Banjo Ifejuna plot.
Number one person is what? Ifa Jonah. Today in our movement, you see all the Ifa Jonas gathering together. How do you know them? When you remove one from position, he form another organization. They will start condemning that person that they are praising in the that he's doing it well. And that person has never changed. He remains who he is and stand where he stands. But whenever you remove all these people that come because of position in this movement, they will form the organization. All are what in the line of betrayal. There is something that you want to know. The most famous instance occurred earlier in the war during the Biafran invasion of the Middle West. Ojukwu accused several high-rank commanders, which is true, that Ifa Jonah colluded with Nigeria, he betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, who betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not all the members of DOS. Who is Simon Banjoko is out there, Ogen Kere, Mamadou Abu. These are the betrayers of our time. Because the history must carry everybody what we are doing. How did the history know that Ifa Jonah was the one that betrayed? And they put in writing that this person betrayed his people. Also, even at all stage, they continuously advising and calling words Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu more names. They are calling Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu names that are not supposed to be called. That's exactly what you see today that they are calling our DPM. But the question is, did all those names stop the movement? My people, betrayal did not start today, and it will not see us to stop. But the question, what will history carry you for?
1967. The most famous instance occurred early in the war, during the Biafran invasion of the Midwest. Ojukwu accused several high-ranking officers of conspiring to overthrow him and negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria. Brigadier Victor Banjo, a Yoruba officer who fought for Biafra. He led the Midwest invasion, but was accused of intentionally stalling the advance on Lagos. Major Emmanuel Ifejuna, a key figure in the 1966 coup. He was accused of being a lead conspirator in the plot against Ojukwu. Major Philip Alale, a political activist and soldier. Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Agbam, a diplomatic officer. The outcome. All four were court-martialed and executed by firing squad in September 1967. Historians still debate whether they were truly traitors, or if they were simply seeking a way to end the war quickly to avoid further bloodshed. 2. Political and strategic defections. As the war...
Now, listen to this. We will start calling names of those that betrayed who? Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Even in that middle of the war, a Yoruba man come in the name of that he want to help to fight the Biafran war. But it's being plotted by Nigeria the same way Nigeria plotted Ifa Jonah. So they plotted them two at the same time. What was their work? To give information of the militaries out and continuously calling Ojukwu name. Ojukwu to end the war, that the people are this and that. Today, are you not hearing that calling our deep honor of names? That wherever anything happens, our deep enemies is what she will call. That's what makes her a leader. If they are not calling you a name, is it my own that they're going to call? The answer is no. It is very, very important at this stage for you to know that these betrayers that you are seeing today that is in this movement is the most important thing that makes Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. That is why we must handle it very hard. Everything that we are doing at this stage is for us to not be a betrayer. But if you eventually become a betrayer, you on your own.
Progressed and the humanitarian crisis worsened,
So,
several prominent figures
after Ifeajuna, after Major Emmanuel Ifeajuna, a key figure in 1966 coup was accused of being a leader, and Ojukwu proved that the same that they did Thomas Simon or Thomas Nnamdi Kanu betrayed him, remove him from his position according to their claim, and put themselves. You had to see Ojukwu reported that they want to betray him. That they do what? They want to take him out and become the leaders, and when they become the leader, they will not maintain that Biafra, they will collapse it and give it over to Nigeria government. Betrayers. Look at Ifeajuna here. Look at what Major Emmanuel Ifeajuna. What of Major Philip, a political activist, and this? These are men that betrayed Ojukwu. These are the men today. History will carry those that betrayed Biafra after our declaration. That is why we must mind things that we are doing, things we are saying. That is why it is very important at this that we are into for you to know: are you a betrayer? You know by yourself. Have you collected anything from Nigeria or they promised anything, and that is why you're doing what you are doing? You are a betrayer. It is a high time that you all know that we cannot achieve Biafra without betrayers. We can never achieve Biafra without having those are betrayers in the midst of us. Take it or you leave it. These are pure truths that we need to know. It's not by propaganda. It's what we're supposed to do, what? Know within ourselves. Sorry. Then let's continue. Major Philip Alala, Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Abim. These are those that betrayed, and all of them have position. When Chukwuemeka Onoju is fighting, they left their position to handle the movement and betrayed everything down, and as pretend that everything is okay. My people, betrayer is from day one. They betrayed Chukwuemeka Onoju. That is why Biafra is not a country yet. And as we are pushing, everything that we are happening is happening for a reason. Now we are in the era of betrayers that betray the movement. Be careful of what you do, what you say in social media, because your name has right there and the story is there for you.
who initially supported Biafra eventually broke away or called for surrender, which Ojukwu viewed as a betrayal of the cause. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria and a towering Igbo leader. Initially, he traveled the world to gain recognition for Biafra. However, in 1969, realizing the war was militarily unwinnable and the suffering was too great, he defected back to the Nigerian side and urged Biafrans to abandon the struggle. But Pabi Asika, an Igbo academic who chose to side with the federal government from the start. He was appointed by Yakubu Gowon.
As the progress and the humanitarian crisis worried, several prominent figures who essentially support Biafra eventually broke away or called for surrendering, which Ojukwu viewed as a betrayal of the case. Chukwuemeka or the Ojukwu that's leading the war have never called for the war to stop. But Nnamdi Azikiwe has told the world that the war has ended, that there is no way he will won this war. I hope you are following. These men that are betrayed that betrayed Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, did they give birth to animals? They give birth to human beings. That is why you see Chiamaka Ajere. That is why you see Ogenkeri. That is why you see Sani Akwarawa betraying the new country movement. Because for the first place, they are not genuine. They don't want to come to make money and go away. Now they are not making the money. What happens? They turn against government. That's why you see all these accused. Nothing more than that. It's what has happened in the past. It's just repeated in our own time. That's why I ask you, did you that Chukwuemeka fought Biafra without having betrayers, saboteurs? My people are very far. Our betrayer is too much. It's top notch. Child. Who internally support Biafra eventually break away. Those that support Biafra, when they send Nnamdi to go and lobby, he went to go and tell them why they have to end supporting Chukwuemeka to have Biafra as their country. He did every humanly possible. Instead of him to lobby that Biafra is a country, he went to go and say it's better than they remain in one Nigeria. He's not a betrayer. We must understand that everything surrounding this movement, that betrayal is among those things that surrounds the movement that we are into. A whole Nnamdi Azikiwe to betray. Sending him to London to go and lobby that Biafra will be a country. He went there, he pulled out. So, we all must continue standing tall. Let betrayers continue to betray more and more, but they will never support. They will never get recognition because of who is the original mandate. Now, they claim that the Biafran people are suffering, that the suffering is too much, that they cannot win the war, a war that will remain 2 days for America to sign up and say, let's call for ceasefire, let us know what they want. The same thing is happening today. And they think that the arresting prisoner or less in prison will stop. The answer is no. It's not in this time around that we are into. Because the real owners of the country has emerged, and those that Chukwuemeka wanted to see and bring it, we are here for it. It is our time. It is our own country. Despite how betrayers trying to do something. The betrayers are moving around everywhere. Do not fall in their hand. Remember the first name here, Emmanuel. Sorry, remember the first name, Nnamdi Azikiwe betrayed the movement. What of Emmanuel Ifajuna? He betrayed the movement. What of Filipino? What of Philip Alala? He betrayed the movement. What of Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Awim? These are men that are even in the ministry that betrayed Chukwuemeka. So today, when you see Butus and Gentle and Makeup doing what they are doing, know that the history just repeated on their head. Because these are military men that Chukwuemeka will believe on them that will make the war, they can carry the war on their shoulder. But what happened? They declared. They declined from it and start causing nuisance. Like what you see all of them today doing. I want us also to believe in ourselves. Do not join among this history of betrayers. Do not.
As the administrator of the East Central State, the heart of Biafra, while the war was still raging. 3. Internal factions. The saboteurs. This was a general term used within Biafra to describe anyone suspected of leaking information to the federal side or failing to execute military orders. The fear of saboteurs led to significant internal paranoia and sometimes resulted in the execution of innocent soldiers and civilians. A note on perspective. While Ojukwu viewed these men as betrayers, many of them argued that they were trying to save the Igbo people from total annihilation by ending a war that Biafra lacked the resources to win. Would you like me to look into the specific details of the Victor Banjo court-martial, or perhaps the reasons why Nnamdi Azikiwe changed his stance?
I hope you heard it clearly. Those that betrayed Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, if they are there in that time, 1967, 1970, in our own time, they are here with us also. Now, do you think that we can achieve Biafra without having saboteurs? We cannot. But they will not stop from getting recognition. Hence, it will be delayed. Because the world knows what we are passing through, and why we exit from Nigeria is better option for us. Child. Our people, I wonder why Biafra is very difficult to come, because of if Biafra comes that time that we're expecting, we could have no value it. But if it comes now, we are going to value it because of a lot of betrayal, a lot of things has happened in the past and repeating itself right now. It's not a child's play. But we have no option to continue until we got back to our homeland.
The opposition to Biafra between 1967 and 1970 came from two primary groups: the federal government of Nigeria, led by General Yakubu Gowon, and internal dissenters, Biafrans or Easterners who disagreed with secession. Their actions and their rhetoric regarding Ojukwu was centered on the themes of national unity, military strategy, and accusations of personal ambition. 1. The federal government's actions. The Nigerian government viewed the secession not as a legitimate quest for independence, but as an illegal rebellion that...
When Ojukwu was fighting, they did not view it as the right thing. Now that we are on it, they never view it as anything. Do you also know that our people, after our declaration, that so many people, like in Kwacha and his gullible, are contacting... Do you know that people we went to visit Mazin and the Kano, they will not mention anything about USB we are declared. I'm telling you gospel truth through investigation. Do you also know that our people will sit with those believing in one Nigeria and telling them, do not mention Gozara Beza as the GOS, so as the COS, as the Prime Minister or as the acting Prime Minister. Continuously that the only that they know, like Nkwasha and his group are present, that the only that they know is Mazin Kasai Eba. They are the one condemning, trying to destroy the movement. They are all in line of where Ifajuna. Because when you are people is fighting for a new country and you are taking side or leaking version out to the other government, that is what we are working for. That is why you are a betrayer in the midst of your people. If you know what these enemies are doing, any place the battle our DPM is getting information or that these people are going to recognize us, they will go there and tell them, oh, they don't recognize Biafra for now. Wait till Mazin can come south. That the only that we have is Mazin and Kano Simon. But the leader cannot be in prison and negotiate, and they will release him until we get our recognition, because the declaration, recognition, the nation and recognition is what frees a leader who is in prison. No declaration, no nation, no recognition keeps a leader in prison permanently and he becomes a forgotten person. That is what Nigeria want to do by trying to stop it at home from the mouth of the betrayers. I also want to understand that the military of Ojukwu betrayed him in their own time. People he believed on betrayed him in his own time. So today, what are you seeing? Is the same betrayer everywhere. Our people may think that everything is just saying. It's not like that. There is some action that our people are taking that is destroying the movement. If this man and they cannot tell him the truth.
The question of betrayal during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, is a deeply sensitive and debated topic in history. From the perspective of General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and the Biafran leadership, certain figures were viewed as traitors because their actions, whether motivated by tactical disagreement, political realism, or personal gain, undermined the secessionist effort. Here are the primary figures often associated with these claims. 1. The Banjo Ifejuna plot, 1967. The most famous instance occurred early in the war, during the Biafran invasion of the Midwest. Ojukwu accused several high-ranking officers of conspiring to overthrow him and negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria. Brigadier Victor Banjo, a Yoruba officer who fought for Biafra. He led the Midwest invasion, but was accused of intentionally stalling the advance on Lagos. Major Emmanuel Ifejuna, a key figure in the 1966 coup. He was accused of being a lead conspirator in the plot against Ojukwu. Major Philip Alale, a political activist and soldier. Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Agbam, a diplomatic officer. The outcome. All four were court-martialed and executed by firing squad in September 1967. Historians still debate whether they were truly traitors, or if they were simply seeking a way to end the war quickly to avoid further bloodshed. 2. Political and strategic defections. As the war progressed and the humanitarian crisis worsened, several prominent figures who initially supported Biafra eventually broke away or called for surrender, which Ojukwu viewed as a betrayal of the cause. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria and a towering Igbo leader. Initially, he traveled the world to gain recognition for Biafra. However, in 1969, realizing the war was militarily unwinnable and the suffering was too great, he defected back to the Nigerian side and urged Biafrans to abandon the struggle. Ukpabi Asika, an Igbo academic who chose to side with the federal government from the start. He was appointed by Yakubu Gowon as the administrator of the East Central State, the heart of Biafra, while the war was still raging. 3. Internal factions. The saboteurs. This was a general term used within Biafra to describe anyone suspected of leaking information to the federal side or failing to execute military orders. The fear of saboteurs led to significant internal paranoia and sometimes resulted in the execution of innocent soldiers and civilians. A note on perspective. While Ojukwu viewed these men as betrayers, many of them argued that they were trying to save the Igbo people from total annihilation by ending a war that Biafra lacked the resources to win. Would you like me to look into the specific details of the Victor Banjo court-martial, or perhaps the reasons why Nnamdi Azikiwe changed his stance?
Somebody is sent to go and do lobby. Come back. He refused. He went there to sabotage. So it's not today that the sabotaging of Biafra started. And it was weak. Both military and non-military, this was sabotaged. The same thing is what we are passing through today.
The opposition to Biafra between 1967 and 1970 came from two primary groups: the federal government of Nigeria, led by General Yakubu Gowon, and internal dissenters, Biafrans or Easterners who disagreed with secession. Their actions and their rhetoric regarding Ojukwu was centered on the themes of national unity, military strategy, and accusations of personal ambition. 1. The federal government's actions. The Nigerian government viewed the secession not as a legitimate quest for independence, but as an illegal rebellion that threatened the existence of the continent's most populous nation. The police action turned total war. Initially, Gowon launched a police action to arrest Ojukwu. When that failed, it escalated into a full-scale blockade. Economic blockade. The federal side implemented a hunger as a weapon of war strategy, cutting off all land, sea, and air routes to the eastern region. This led to the devastating famine and Kwashiorkor crisis. Diplomatic counteroffensive. Nigeria worked tirelessly to ensure the Organization of African Unity, OAU, and the UN maintained a One Nigeria policy, successfully limiting Biafra's international recognition.
Because Nnamdi Azikiwe
As the war dragged on,
refused to do the job they sent him to go, and rather he went here to discuss with the British how we end the war and go back to Nigeria. And because of the promise they made to him, help us end this war, we are going to give you the president. After he has helped them, like the way there was being promising IPOB and giving them false hope till today. So after that, what happens? Nnamdi Azikiwe negotiated with Britain how to go back to Nigeria, and they asked him, if you can help us to quench this part of Biafra movement, Biafra freedom, Biafra war, that we are going to give you the first president after all. What happened? He became his so-called first ceremonial president.
And the humanitarian situation became catastrophic. Several high-profile figures, both internal and external, advised Ojukwu to end the conflict or seek a compromise to save lives. The advice generally fell into two categories: military realism, we cannot win, and humanitarian concern, the people are dying. 1. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Zik. The most significant person to advise Ojukwu to stop was the father of Nigeria himself. The action. Initially, Azikiwe was a roving ambassador for Biafra. However, by 1960...
He was what? Ambassador of Biafra. But he betrayed the movement. Yes, today I remain silent. I thank you for Solo, for you that remember the code on this platform. Hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Recognize yourself first before you're waiting for international recognition. Give yourself the first ever recognition first by putting who you are at all time. Hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. It is very, very important if you do so. That is to show this is your country. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe is number one person. That's why Chukwuemeka lay a curse on him that his third generation can never succeed in Nigeria. Today, it is happening. Have you heard about Nnamdi Azikiwe family? Where are they? So let us continue. You see, the only why I'm bringing this in is for you to know that the history of betrayers has been there before us. For you who think that everybody will come and pay attention, we'll get better together, you are deceiving yourself. Among five, there is 3 Judas in this 21st century. That's what we are passing through today. So it is very, very important for you to know those that betray. And this their betrayal and their cold war compared to what the Ogen Kre and their group are doing. What Mama Dabi is doing. Are they not all betrayers? They are.
69, he became convinced that the mounting deaths from starvation were too high a price for sovereignty. The advice, during a meeting in London and later in a famous move to Liberia and Lagos.
They sent him to London, Liberia, and Lagos State. Where did they send Nnamdi Azikiwe? And what happened? He betrayed.
Zik publicly broke with Ojukwu. He urged the Biafran leadership to negotiate a surrender to prevent the total genocide of the Igbo people. Ojukwu's reaction. Ojukwu viewed this as a massive betrayal, and Biafran radio branded Zik a traitor. 2. The execution of the 4, Banjo and Ifejuna. In the...
I hope you listen to that. That they sent Nnamdi Azikiwe where? To London to go and lobby. From London to other countries. And what did he come back with? He was there after having an agreement with British. Everything vanished. After having an agreement with British, the argument and everything started. So I want those that believe in USB to understand, Biafrans to know that we cannot achieve Biafra without betrayers. At the region of the war, they send human being to go and lobby like every other country. What happened? He went and go and take instruction. Colluded and tell him what we want, and those propagate Ojukwu to stop this war that he will never win. And those propagate Ojukwu to stop this war that he wants to stop. We are going to give him the first ceremonial president. That is why he allowed people to be massacred. And this is a part of why the Biafra is not icon today. Because of what? Bunch of betrayers. What of Ifajuna? They are all what? So we must see it in this perspective that the betrayers are fighting our DPM, not Congo rebels every blessed day. The same way they fight who? Check all these groups that are making noise. All of them come to attack only one person, DPM. Is it not true? Next person that betrayed the movement is Ifajuna. After Nnamdi Azikiwe, do you know that Azikiwe betrayed in the first place? Listen to it here. You can see all the names that betray this movement, and also the same. They are heavy men.
The early months of the war, September 1967, a group of high-ranking officers advised Ojukwu that a military victory against the federal government was impossible. The advice, Brigadier Victor Banjo and Major Emmanuel Ifejuna.
Victor Banjo, Yoruba man, you see this Yoruba, is not the start to betray. So whenever you're doing something with them, be very careful, because they have never meant well for us. They want us to wipe away. He claimed that Banjo claimed that he wanted to help the Biafran people, to succeed. Why their people are the one that are coming and killing our people every blessed day. Ifajuna. You hear that name? Ifajuna. Our people must repent, and this is what we're into.
argued that instead of a war of attrition, Biafra should seek a political settlement with Nigeria to avoid a long, bloody siege.
A political solution that never worked from day one. And that is what the IPOB hope on, political solution. And you know, ask yourself, how did all the leaders that was arrested, how did they come out? How did all the leaders come outside and stay? I want us to know that betrayers did not see us stop, and betrayers cannot see us to end. Rather, we will move forward. Because what we are doing is what we're supposed to do. So the world should pay attention. For them to understand our pains, that the only thing that can cure our problem is what? Biafra. A recognition that we are seeking for is the only thing that will cure the rot of the Biafran people in the mindset of anybody at all. So you can see those that betrayed Ifajuna. The most pain part of it is Nnamdi Azikiwe, who keep us in this mess. Because if he did the right thing, lobby was supposed to do, by now we are not going to be here we are today. We would have moved for more than this. But Chukwuka said maybe it's not the right to do the exposition of those that have give birth to Ifajuna. So those that Ifajuna was give birth to, there are those that betrayed all this movement today, not other people.
The opposition to Biafra between 1967 and 1970 came from two primary groups: the federal government of Nigeria, led by General Yakubu Gowon, and internal dissenters, Biafrans or Easterners who disagreed with secession. Their actions and their...
Hey, sorry, my hand touched where it's not supposed to touch. But I think we are following the saboteurs. I know why I'm doing this particular program of saboteurs, including all the one that we've been doing, for you to know that the saboteurs started from day one. They are there in every movement. And they will be the one paying very close attention to you. They will be the one that want to be the one to advise what to do, but they have agenda. My people, it is our time that all this is happening. It has happened before, and as we are seeing, remember those that's happened to them, like people of Biafra, because everything that we are passing through today, we did not just go and bring by ourselves. It's not that we are seeking for our country. And now after our declaration, you see the betrayers showcasing their face in social media today. I want to tell you that you are on the side of the USB, that you are doing the right thing. Time of Ifajuna, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Mbon has gone. Who do we have? Ogenkere, Muhammadu Abo, IPB organization that never flow the truth for one day. These are the Ifajunas, and they are those that the Ifajunas have given birth to. These are those around us here today. So my people, be very, very strong, knowing that you have a government that are protecting you. And also, once again, the names are those that betrayed. What of Obabia, Seka? These are all the men that betrayed. Listen to this fully again.
The question of betrayal during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, is a deeply sensitive and debated topic in history. From the perspective of General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and the Biafran leadership, certain figures were viewed as traitors because their actions, whether motivated by tactical disagreement, political realism, or personal gain, undermined the secessionist effort. Here are the primary figures often associated with these claims. 1. The Banjo Ifejuna plot, 1967. The most famous instance occurred early in the war, during the Biafran invasion of the Midwest. Ojukwu accused several high-ranking officers of conspiring to overthrow him and negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria. Brigadier Victor Banjo, a Yoruba officer who fought for Biafra. He led the Midwest invasion, but was accused of intentionally stalling the advance on Lagos. Major Emmanuel Ifejuna, a key figure in the 1966 coup. He was accused of being a lead conspirator in the plot against Ojukwu. Major Philip Alale, a political activist and soldier. Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Agbam, a diplomatic officer. The outcome: all four were court-martialed and executed by firing squad in September 1967. Historians still debate whether they were truly traitors, or if they were simply seeking a way to end the war quickly to avoid further bloodshed. 2. Political and strategic defections. As the war progressed and the humanitarian crisis worsened, several prominent figures who initially supported Biafra eventually broke away or called for surrender, which Ojukwu viewed as a betrayal of the cause. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria and a towering Igbo leader. Initially, he traveled the world to gain recognition for Biafra. However, in 1969, realizing the war was militarily unwinnable and the suffering was too great, he defected back to the Nigerian side and urged Biafrans to abandon the struggle. Ukpabi Asika, an Igbo academic who chose to side with the federal government from the start. He was appointed by Yakubu Gowon as the administrator of the East Central State, the heart of Biafra, while the war was still raging. 3. Internal factions. The saboteurs. This was a general term used within Biafra to describe anyone suspected of leaking information to the federal side or failing to execute military orders. The fear of saboteurs led to significant internal paranoia and sometimes resulted in the execution of innocent soldiers and civilians. A note on perspective. While Ojukwu viewed these men as betrayers, many of them argued that they were trying to save the Igbo people from total annihilation by ending a war that Biafra lacked the resources to win. Would you like me to look into the specific details of the Victor Banjo court-martial, or perhaps the reasons why Nnamdi Azikiwe changed his stance?
We do need to know the reason, because they are promising him in London that you become a president of Nigeria. That's why he changes. The same thing we are seeing, all these are making mistake today. They know what they are not making mistake, they know what they are doing, because they only want to stop the movement. That is the mission of those that give, that's the mission that was being given to them. The mission that was given to them is to stop Biafra. Like what Chukwuemeka Odumegwu did his own, like what Nnamdi Azikiwe did against Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. This is how they betrayed the movement. Today the betrayers are all around us. But history must carry us according to what we did in this movement that we're into. The history is here. And that is why when you know the attitude of those that betrayed, the name calling and everything, that is what you see that all these criminals are doing. And they will pretend, look at somebody sent all the way from Biafran to London to go and lobby. He come back finally to tell the Biafran people in 1970 for them to end up the war, to go back to Nigeria. Look at all of them. Even the one that took it upon himself, like what you see Asad Okobo and all these politicians doing today in our movement. They all believe in one Nigeria. That Gowon appointed a Biafran son to fight against his people. He leading the movement. I don't allow it play the way it is, because it's very simple to understand.
The opposition to Biafra between 1967 and 1970 came from two primary groups: the federal government of Nigeria, led by General Yakubu Gowon, and internal dissenters, Biafrans or Easterners who disagreed with secession. Their actions and their rhetoric regarding Ojukwu were centered on the themes of national unity, military strategy, and accusations of personal ambition. 1. The federal government's actions. The Nigerian government viewed the secession not as a legitimate quest for independence, but as an illegal rebellion that threatened the existence of the continent's most populous nation. The police action turned total war. Initially, Gowon launched a police action to arrest Ojukwu. When that failed, it escalated into a full-scale blockade, economic blockade.
They tried to use
let's
a
dive into
Biafran to arrest Ojukwu. The same arrest everywhere. So for you to know that they are not using outside person to put all the allegation on Mass Simon Ekpanjoku. For Mass, our parents to be arrested, they use an inner house person. The same way Nigeria are trying to use, and that one fails. Does not start today. I also do this. I want to know that betrayers cannot end because of we are looking for Biafra. No, betrayers will be there. That is why we are not going to be united to get Biafra. There is those who never want Biafra as a country. There are those who this movement that the only time they can be rich man or big man is in the name of Biafra movement. They are all there. So what transpires then is what is happening now. But the difference is that in this 21st century, they are not going to, because we are not relenting at all.
Accord and the Niger Delta minorities, as these two areas are where the accusations of betrayal are most historically grounded. 1. The Aburi Accord.
The so-called Niger Deltas, they betrayed the movement, like what you see the pig in the creek as about doing today. Betrayed is not see the Rebels start, or Mazdanikan, or Simon Eba. The time of Ojukwu is when it started. And the course being learned on those people are transferring to those that are against our education in this 2026.
January 1967. The betrayal is often traced back to a meeting in Aburi, Ghana. At this summit, Ojukwu and Gowon reached an agreement to move Nigeria toward a confederation, a loose union where regions had significant autonomy. The agreement, both sides agreed that the regions would have control over their own resources and internal security, essentially keeping Nigeria together in name only. The betrayal. Upon returning to Lagos, Gowon was advised by federal civil servants and British diplomats that the accord would lead to the total disintegration of Nigeria. Action. Gowon issued Decree No. 8, which stripped away the key autonomy clauses agreed upon at Aburi. Ojukwu's stance. Ojukwu famously declared, "On Aburi we stand," arguing that Gowon had betrayed a solemn gentleman's agreement. This breakdown in trust was the final trigger for the declaration of Biafra on May 30, 1967. 2. The role of Niger Delta minorities. While the heart of Biafra was Igbo, the eastern region also included many ethnic minorities, Ijar, Efik, Ibibio, Ogoni. Their role is often described as a betrayal by Biafran loyalists, but as a liberation by the minorities themselves. Key actions of minority groups. The Isaac Adaka Borough factor. Before the war even started, Isaac Adaka Borough, an Ijaw man, led the 12-day Republic Rebellion against the Eastern Regional Government. When the Civil War broke out, he joined the Nigerian army to fight against Biafra. Sabotage and intel. Because many minority groups feared Igbo dominance in a new Biafran state, they often acted as guides for the Nigerian Federal 3rd Marine Commando Division. They helped federal troops navigate the difficult riverine terrain to capture key ports like Port Harcourt and Calabar. The Lydia radio stations, pro-federal minorities, operated underground radio signals to coordinate with the Nigerian Navy. Demographics and impact. To understand the scale of the division, consider the estimated population of the eastern region at the start of the war. Ethnic group category. Estimated population, 1967. Primary loyalty. Igbo, majorities. Approximately 7 million to 8 million. Strongly pro-Biafra, non-Igbo, minorities. Approximately 5 million. Mixed/pro-federal. By 1968, the federal government had captured most of the minority-inhabited coastal areas. This was a strategic disaster for Ojukwu because it meant Biafra lost its oil fields and its access to the sea, leading to the total landlocked isolation that caused the famine. 3. What they said about Ojukwu. Among the minority leaders and federalists, the rhetoric against Ojukwu was sharp. Internal colonialism. Minority leaders like Ken Saro-Wiwa, then a young administrator, argued that Ojukwu was simply trying to replace British northern colonialism with Igbo colonialism over the oil-rich delta. The Ojukwu is Biafra critique. Critics argued that the movement was too centered on Ojukwu's personality. They claimed he suppressed any dissenting voices within the eastern region, leading to the atmosphere of saboteur hunts that saw many innocent minority leaders executed. Would you like to explore the specific stories of the saboteur trials in Biafra, or perhaps more about Isaac Adaka Barrow's role in the war?
I hope you listen from the beginning. That's why I just remain silent, because I want to understand something. You see this issue of Niger Delta and all of them did not start today. But that is what British told them about us. That is why they continuously acting in that way. So today, you can see it pop and plain that betrayal has been there for the one, that we must fight against them to not for them to not tamper our recognition. That is why it is very important that you stand on the side of USB. Proving it otherwise, that I stand on the side of USB. Look at the history line, how he was betrayed, and the same betrayals are today happening. Those never want Biafra. They start calling Ojukwu manner of names. They start claiming that Ojukwu will be a voice, that it will be everywhere, that their voice will not be heard, looking for one thing or the other thing that which people are doing today in our movement. Please, my people, Let us try. Remember the USB. Let us try that we have declared it. That's that the only solution we have is on this. Let us not allow them to make Biafra to become a failure for a second time, because the world will not listen to us again. The only time the world listen to us is now. Now is now. Let us make it right. Let us support USB, that we can be able to achieve our international recognition that we are looking for. Please, everything must surely work in our favor. So all these betrayers and their way, the military betrayed, the citizens betrayed, both including Nnamdi Azikiwe and Ifa Jonah. They betrayed the movement of the Biafra. Then today, the same thing is happening. Those you think that you and them is fighting for this movement, they are there trying to undermine the movement that we are into. Now, look at all the styles of their betrayers and how they betrayed, and use it to compare what we are seeing today. As we are playing more, if you wanna call us on this program, you have the number +97336051 737 +97 +97336051337. Yes, so dear friends, if you are in diaspora and you are claiming, you fully believe within yourself that you supported this movement, that you believe in our declaration, if you are not taking this ID card, you are not a Biafran. One, the ID card is an evidence of what? That you are a citizen of United States of Biafra. In any country that you are, if there's anything happens and you present this ID card, that country will not deport you anymore. They will serve you because you are a citizen of a new country. I have said it before, under the humanitarian movement, the ID card helps you to stay. Take this ID card for your own good. The USB ID card is one of the most good things that we deserve to have in this movement that we are into. In this movement, this ID card of the USB, please, my people, try and have your own ID card. Then you will come and give testimony how it is. Last time ago, through our brother Kelena, a brother, make it openly, how the USB ID card helped him to conquer, and now he stays after he have left Finland because of the frustration that Finland put in our people. ID card is one of the most important things that the world recognize. Remember that when you have this ID card, it's an evidence that you accepted USB as your own country. It's also evidence in the eyes of the UN that there is a permanent population, there is a divine territory, there is effective government and capacity to sign agreements. When you taking the ID card is have also done number one step, what they call internal sovereignty recognition, before we go to external sovereignty recognition, which is the one that the world and UN are going to give to us. Have you recognized USB? How can you recognize USB without you having an ID card? We must go towards that. We must go to have our ID card to prove that I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Divide, thanks so much for reminding me. This ID card proving that you are a citizen of Biafra. That is why the ID card is very important. And this is what we are into. And I want you to know, whatever you see USB doing is what others has done in the past, and through that process, they was be able to achieve their country. You know that if over 5 million, over 5,000 Biafrans take this ID card, is pure evidence of what? That this country has a population, that there is a popular citizens that are living over there. That is a pure argument to to UN, that these people want the country. Having ID card means I want Biafra, but not having it means I never want Biafra. It means you still believe in one Nigeria. So try and understand the importance of us having our ID card. It is very imperative that we adhere towards that. Having ID card.
It sounds like we've hit on exactly what you were looking for. The case of Asterisk Drive, Ngozi Orubueze and the United States of Biafra USB is a perfect real-world example of all the concepts we discussed. 1. The Declaration.
Sorry, after the call. Hello, mother. Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
You're welcome
Good evening.
to the program.
Unu na-agbalị. Unu mechakwara nke abalị ka ịbanyekwa ọzọ. I was just in the night. I said, you people are having
joint broadcast.
Group broadcast,
Yes.
which is joint broadcast, which is very, very good. I want to encourage you and I want to thank you for always educating us. And the topic you are bringing this time around is so keen to the struggle, is so vital. I wish there would be a way that the people at home, all these our mothers and everybody can be getting what we are getting. It will go a long way of sensitizing them. Most of the things that we are complaining about them, it will go a long way of them understanding. I know that the government is also trying.
Yes, sir.
Or one at a time. But when you come to information, to this struggle is very, very keen. It's very, very, information is the key. In fact, it's the life wire of this struggle, because it is only when you get informed, then you get to know. And when the enemy is coming to deceive you, you'll be able to see the words of the enemy and what you know already. Do you know that I was in Kelena TV this afternoon, that I was in the office? So I was playing on this Eggman. I don't know that an adult like him can blatantly come out in the air and be lying.
That's what they do.
What? I don't know. Saying those things that he said, something you know that you are lying. And you are saying it with all alacrity, with all seriousness. I said, then, when did we how did we degenerate to this? That I, as I am lying. And I will be saying it without not feeling any itch, any remorse in me. You remember that the person you are lying against is also a human being that has mouth, that has conscience, that does everything like yourself. And you are lying. You know, those people are inconsequential to me. I don't even like to listen to any of them. I don't. When I hear them talk, they irritate me. Because you cannot tell me that you are fighting for your people, and at the same time, you are destroying what you say you are fighting for. Meaning that you are not fighting for anything. You are just there for what you will grab. And also, the joint broadcast that you people are doing is very, very good. It's very, very good. I pray that our government should introduce this to our radio. Let our radio let it go down to our communities. Each community should have a personality that will be translating all these things to their own tongue so that they will be able to understand. That is how we will catch all those, our mothers, the children, and everything. And in the joint program that you were doing, there was an issue that was raised of Islamization or not Islamization, how they are teaching the people in the interior, which it comes to do with information. Because when you are indoctrinating them, because what I see that is that they are indoctrinating them, and I know that our government will not keep a blighted eyes on that personality that are doing that. And also, when our radio is able to flow, so that each community will have their person translating whatever the government is doing, everything that is happening into their own tongue, so that they will understand the pace at which government is, and they will understand what is going on, because so many of them do not know anything. And that is why they will just be there. Calamity will just come to them without knowing, because no information to them. We that are outside is able to get information faster than them. Like somebody like my mother in the village, it is only when you give him an information, this is this that you'll be able to know. But if he has a way that he listens to television, he listens to radio, if you are saying that in that in that your tongue, helping them to understand, you find out that they will have a total grasp of what government is doing and what is happening around them. That is a suggestion I wanted to make at that time when you people were discussing, but I couldn't do that. I said, okay, that I will still chip it in. I know that we are growing and we will continue to grow. Our DPM made mention of USB media, which is very, very good. It's very, very good. So we can be able to reach the interiors and everything will be sorted out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I also appreciate you for always a wonderful suggestion and wonderful. In fact, the way you present the word also proving that with your voice need to be coming on social media, because no, we needed everybody, but not the saboteurs. The only why I tried to do the program of this program this evening about, as in about to know that there are people that betrayed him, for us to know that betrayal did not see us start and it's not going to see us to end. But in the midst of those betrayals, who are those that they are using? They are using the inner house. Today, Nigeria have used Ogenkere. When Nigeria Ogenkere could not be able to, they divide Ogenkere, put Imam Adu separate. And what of those that are going back and forward, they don't know where they belong, Lazuba, all those ones are there. But seeing all this,
that one is inconsequential human being. In fact, I hate seeing that woman. I don't even want to hear her.
The same way Chiamaka, Jerry, all of them are like, they know the truth, but because of the money that are being collected, the truth have run away from them. Because when you betray this, first thing is what? Once you betray the spirit of Biafra, you betray yourself forever and ever, then the spirit will run away from you. Once the spirit goes away from you, nothing for you anymore. That is what you see.
Do you know when we were growing up, when they talk about Ojukwu war, because we've not been born at that time, so when they tell us the story, they will paint it as if that Ojukwu is such an evil man that brought a calamity to his people. It was this teaching that you are giving us now that I myself, I was able to understand that this war wasn't even caused by Ojukwu.
Honestly.
And everything that happened around that war wasn't Ojukwu's fault. Ojukwu was trying to save
Protect
his
his
people.
people.
Like, yes, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing now, and Mazi Simon Ekpa. You can't be, as I'm in the house now, I cannot be in the house and something will come into my house trying to destroy my house, and I will be an adult there and I will not do anything. That was exactly what all these people did, and that is what they are doing. Mazi have seen what is coming upon us, and he started warning us. He started warning us. So many people call him all sort of names and everything. Now, what is happening? Likewise, our Prime Minister. Likewise, Ojukwu. You cannot tell me that two of us, we wait for an agreement. And in that agreement, we both agree this is what we are coming to do. So I left, you went your way, and I went to apply my own. Then you now came back and destroyed what we have agreed on. Have you seen? And now when you wanted to change your mind, you didn't notify me. Me, I will not join you. Then if I want to apply my own principle, I will now know that I'm standing alone. You went and agreed with these people, and you people destroyed everything. Now look at his village, look at his life, look at everything around him. Just look at it. There is nobody that have ever done evil that will not live to pay for the evil that he has done. These people have really dealt with us. But thank God that the remnant that God preserved, we still teach them lessons and still deal with them till their grave. They will be receiving that punishment. I'm telling you. When they want to tell us the story, they will tell us the story as if Ojukwu is the one kind worst person and this.
And on this
Not
program of
until
those that betrayed him, you can have it from there. You can have it clearly how they address that Ojukwu was the one causing the problem. He's killing his people. He doesn't want his people. That is the narrative. But ours is the planning with those that have betrayed the movement.
People are so wicked, though. People are so wicked. People are so wicked. So, onwe ihe ndebe anyị na-ekwu na onye ọbanye ogbuo okpo ọpụta ose ịwa ọjụ onye na-egbu.
Yes.
Ọ ya nwụrụ ya. So ị gaa n'azụ gị ga-emecha ihe niile ị na-eme, ị na-apụtazi ị ga-abịa were arụrụ ala ịrụ were bunye onye ọzọ n'isi. That was what they did to Ojukwu now. And that was exactly what they did to Nnamdi Kanu and Samuel Ekpa. But God is there fighting the battle. So, sir, I want to encourage you, keep it up. You are trying. God will increase you, and God will make this fight to be a success in Jesus' name.
Amen. He said. Thank you so much, Mwada. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Wonderful one. That is see, what we are doing, and this is what we are into. And this is what we are into. I want you to have one thing in the back of your mind. You are not achieving Biafra without having saboteurs from inner house. They are giving me more strength to do more. And they are why I have to find out the truth. US government is on the right track. They are maintaining what they're supposed to do. The other one left for you in the homeland to do. What is one of the worst thing? What is one of those one thing that you have to do is to be getting vital information given to the government. It is a high time of people when the Nigerian government comes to kill, you send information in time. You do what you can do. It's no longer that time. We must learn how to be strong on our own. The journey that we are passing through, people has gone through that before. We are not the first people. We are not going to be the last people. But the one thing that we must maintain is what? Stand on the side of the United States of Biafra government. The only government you have. In the history of the movement, you have heard it clearly. Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu has those that betrayed him. Today, the betrayals are still going on. You that is in abroad, the little thing you should do, you refuse to do it. Take your ID card to prove what? Listen to this.
An ID card or passport from a newly declared country is more than just a piece of plastic. It is a claim to sovereignty. However, its importance depends entirely on whether other countries choose to recognize it. Here is why an ID card is a critical tool for a new nation. 1. Establishing permanent population. According to the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what a state is under international law, a country must have 4 things. 1. A defined territory. 2. A government. 3. The capacity to enter relations with other states. 4. A permanent population. By issuing ID cards, a new government provides physical proof that it has a permanent population that identifies with the new state rather than the old one. 2. De facto versus de jure recognition. De jure B6. By law, if a powerful country, like the US, UK, or China, recognizes your ID card, they are effectively recognizing your country's existence. De facto, in practice, even if the UN doesn't recognize the country, if neighboring countries allow people to cross the border using that ID, the new country has achieved functional independence.
This area I want you to get attention to. When any country accept ID card, like that our brother from all the way from Finland to Netherlands or is it Iceland, where he travels to, where because of this ID card of USB, they allow him to stay. They told you here that under this Montevideo Convention that it has proven that that country has recognized you as state. That country has recognized you as a country. You don't know why they are asking all of us in abroad to take this ID card. Because the recognition is not coming from men on ground. The recognition is not coming from men on ground. And there is no action of men on ground that will take recognition. Come at the instead of that, their action will delay the recognition. The recognition comes from this particular have your ID card. It's part of what gives recognition. Having USB ID card is part of number 1 recognition. If any country, as you had it here, the factor recognition, if UN does not recognize the country, if any nearby country allows people to cross their border using the ID card, the new country has achieved a functioning independency. Continue. If a powerful country like the US, UK, or China recognize your ID card, they are effectively recognize your country existence. Those in diaspora are not helping this movement much. You know why I said so? Because in the self-referendum vote, those in the homeland voted more than those in diaspora. Some of our people just do I don't care. But if you don't care, I believe in Nigeria because of you have American passport, American ID card, and they think it is okay. What of the poor ones? Rich men fight for freedom for the poor to live. Well, the time that we are into, I want you to see just a tip of how the world will see this ID card. Now, what I'm saying, has it happened anywhere in the world? Listen.
3. The right to consular protection. Under the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations, a state has the right to protect its citizens abroad. If a person carries an ID card from a new country and gets arrested in a third country, that ID card is the basis for the new country to intervene. The conflict. If the parent country still claims that person as a citizen, a legal tug-of-war begins over who has the right to represent them. 4. Internal control and legality. Domestically, the ID card is the primary tool for the peaceful disobedience we discussed earlier. Taxation.
Do you also know that you are in diaspora having USB ID card under international law is part of peaceful disobedience that you have denounced Nigeria? Because this program is program of tomorrow, but we are going to emphasize more. I just want to give you something. ID card. ID card of USB. This is how the world will see it. That's why I told you that in this movement that we are into, what we are thinking and what we are saying is not what the world is saying or what they are thinking when they want to give a new country recognition. Their ideas are different from what we are thinking as a black man. And you know that when you want to hide the truth from a black man, put it on a reading note, hide it. You cannot go and look for it. We don't have time to breathe for 1 hour. That is the pure truth. We don't have time to research and find out. This process we are going today, what we are passing through today, has people passed through that in the past? ID card. ID card. Tomorrow, the problem we're going to do tomorrow is all about the ID card. Countries in the past that have just only this has grabbed the recognition from the hands of the UN. That their population of their indigenes have the ID card over 10,000. UN will give them a seat in the UN and recognize them. Why do we want everything to be delayed? There are a lot of things we can do.
To pay taxes to the new government, you need a national ID, tax ID. Voting. To prove the government has the consent of the governed, it must hold elections. You cannot hold a valid election without a registry of citizens verified by ID cards. Law enforcement. It replaces the old identity. If a citizen refuses to show the
it's replacing the old identity of Nigeria from your hand. That you are no longer a Nigerian. That you are a Biafran. Please, my people, I urge all of us to go and take USB ID card. Tomorrow, prepare your mind. We are going to go tour. We are going to go through to countries that this ID card has helped, and because of ID card, they achieved international recognition through the office of the UN. Our own is not the first. We are not going to be the last, my people. So from here, we are end this program here until we come back tomorrow on this particular program. So I thank you all for all we are doing to make sure that our country stands. Stay on the side of the USB. Do not panic. Remember that Nigeria have done what? Have equipped themselves with VX chemical weapon that only touches your skin within 1 minute, it can kill any Biafrans. Remember, you are people in the homeland. Stop buying things from Fulani hand. Stop buying things from the Fulani hand. You are buying your debt. You are selling your debt warrant because they have equipped this to use it to destroy us. It doesn't smell. There is how you can notice it at all. The best is to stay away from buying those things from their hand. Buy from your fellow Biafran. Buy from any other tribe. But when it's come to this jihadist movement people, these their food soldier, go away from them. Their food soldier can do anything to make that they Islamize you. They use gun and bullet. The world has come against it. They are shifting from that. They are going inside searches. They are introducing Sharia law to you. Look at what they are implementing. Run for your life. Run for what? For your life. I thank all the women in Biafrans, and from me, from here, it is a good night. Thank you so much.